Right? Et Shalom, nous sommes les Hébreux israélites du camp de GMS Montréal. Alors on va commencer en donnant tout honneur, toute gloire à Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Okakodash. Alright, d'où l'honneur et respect aux apôtres de Great Millstone, ceux qui nous ont appris cette vérité, et Shalom aux élus. Alright, on a commencé en donnant tout honneur, toute gloire à Yahweh, qui est le nom du Tout-Puissant, le nom de son Fils, celui que le monde appelle avec ignorance Jésus-Christ. Son nom, son vrai nom, est un nom hébreu, et c'est Yahushai, ok, qui signifie il délivre, right, puisque c'est lui que le Seigneur a désigné pour délivrer la nation d'Israël de ses péchés et aussi des troubles qui vont venir sur la planète Terre. Ok, le Hakodash signifie le Saint-Esprit. Alright? Et comme je l'ai mentionné, on a besoin d'un sauveur. Ok? Parce qu'on s'approche, on approche des temps où Edom, l'ennemi de la nation d'Israël, va venir avec une grande fureur pour persécuter les Israélites.
Esdras 16 et 72, ils seront comme des fous. Le Seigneur, ils seront comme des fous, n'épargnant personne. Esdras 16 et 71, car l'Ossia est dans les villes voisines.
Right. En fait, c'est dans plusieurs villes. Okay? Il y aura l'oppression, okay? Par Edom. Ok? Continue.
Dans les villes voisines, il y aura un soulèvement général contre ceux qui craignent le Seigneur.
Right. Qui craignent le Seigneur? Right. En général, tout Israël, pense à dans Romains, il y a besoin de en général, tout Israël craint le Seigneur. Right. Parce que le Seigneur a créé la nation d'Israël pour que c'est cette nation qui le vénère, okay? Qui l'honore. Que les lois, les statuts, les commandements ont été donnés qu'à une seule nation qui sont les Israélites. Qui sont les soi-disant noirs, latinos et amérindiens. Et les Israélites dispersés dans tout le monde. Okay?
Romains 10 et verset 2. Je leur rends le témoignage qu'ils ont du zèle pour Dieu, mais sans l'intelligence.
Right, ils ont du zèle pour Dieu, mais sans l'intelligence. Okay? Parce que l'intelligence consiste en quoi? La compréhension des instructions de la Bible. Man. Okay? Comprendre qui est Yahushua, l'importance de Yahushua. Parce que sans Yahushua, tu ne pourras pas être sauvé. Man. All right? So, il y a des Israélites qui vont dans les églises, qui écoutent des pasteurs, mais ils refusent, par exemple, de suivre les commandements. Les commandements te disent qu'il va envoyer un homme de ta nation qui va te sauver. Man. Okay? Son nom est Yahushua, et c'est lui que tu dois écouter. Ouais? Un autre exemple, c'est qu'il mange toutes sortes d'abominations. Okay? Les crevettes, le porc, ainsi de suite, le crabe. Les instructions te disent de ne pas consommer ces choses-là. Alright? Ils se vénèrent vers d'autres dieux tels que Jésus-Christ. Okay? Qui est en fait qu'un idole basé sur Césarée Borgia. Okay? Un homme édomite.
Isaïe 33 et 6. Tes jours seront en sûreté. La sagesse et l'intelligence seront une source de salut.
Right. La sagesse et l'intelligence seront une source de salut pour les jours de troubles qui vont venir. Man. Les troubles de l'angoisse de Jacob. Man. Les troupes de Jacob. Okay? Right.
La crainte de l'Éternel, c'est là le trésor de Sion.
Right. La crainte de l'Éternel, c'est là de quoi?
Le trésor de Sion.
Right. Le trésor de Zion, man. Okay? Alright. Parlant des élus, man. Alright. Ceci est notre trésor parce que les Écritures disent que la crainte du Seigneur, c'est le début de la sagesse, man. Right. Alright. Et qu'est-ce que ça veut dire par craindre le Seigneur? Ça veut dire le respecter, man. Okay? Le révérer correctement. Alright? Et ça commence par quoi? En connaissant son nom, en acceptant son nom, et en suivant les lois, les statuts, les commandements qu'il nous a donnés.
Actes 4 et verset 12. Il n'y a de salut à aucun autre, car il n'y a sous le ciel aucun autre nom qui a été donné parmi les hommes par lequel nous devions être sauvés.
Alright? Il n'y a aucun nom par lequel un homme sera sauvé. Man. Okay? Donc c'est en appelant le nom de Yahushua, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, que l'homme sera sauvé. Pour ça, dans Romains 6, avec des choses.
Rapidement. Jean 4 et 23. Mais l'heure vient, et elle est déjà venue, où les vrais adorateurs adoreront le Père en esprit et en vérité.
That's right. So, les vrais adorateurs vont adorer le Père et le Fils en esprit et en vérité. Donc tu dois accepter toute la vérité, man. Incluant l'apparence du Seigneur, man. Parce que les Écritures te décrivent comment le Seigneur a l'air, man. Ok, quand tu vas dans le livre de Apocalypse, le premier chapitre, le 13e verset, le livre de Daniel, le 10e chapitre. Alright? You know, tu dois connaître l'importance de l'apparence du Seigneur aussi. Alright? Tout est important. Tout ce qui est écrit dans la Bible est important. Man. Tu ne peux pas sauter aucune des paroles.
Car ce sont là les adorateurs que le Père demande. Yahweh Barashem Yahushua est esprit. Et il faut que ceux qui l'adorent en esprit et en vérité.
Tu dois l'adorer en esprit et en vérité.
Philippiens 2, le verset 9. C'est pourquoi aussi Dieu l'a souverainement élevé et lui a donné le nom qui est au-dessous de tout nom, afin qu'au nom de Yahushua, tout genou fléchisse dans les cieux, sur la terre et sous la terre.
Ouais, que tout genou fléchisse au nom de Yahushua, celui que le monde appelle avec le nom Jésus-Christ. Okay? Parce qu'il a un nom hébreu, mais la lettre J a été créée en quelle année? En 1724, man. Okay? Durant le temps de la Renaissance. Donc, comment est-ce que, sachant que Yahushua est né durant l'année 33, l'année 0, dans l'année du Seigneur, on dit l'année du Seigneur. Okay? Il est mort dans l'année 33, dans l'année du Seigneur, du temps du Seigneur. Comment est-ce que son nom peut contenir un J? Sachant que la lettre J a été créée en 1724, man. Okay? Donc tu dois faire preuve de logique, man. Et c'est ce que le Seigneur requiert, man. Preuve de discernement. That's right. All right? So that's it.
Donc, verset 11. Et que toute langue confesse que Yahushua est le Seigneur et la gloire de Père. Et la gloire de Dieu, de le Père.
That's right, parce qu'à l'apparence du Seigneur, tout genou va fléchir. Tout le monde va savoir que, oh, hey, ça c'est le roi. You know? Parce qu'il ne va pas apparaître comme un agneau lorsqu'il était présent il y a 2000 ans. Man. Non, il va apparaître comme dans une forme angélique. All right? Apocalypse 1 et 7. All right? Et tout le monde va voir l'apparence de Yahushua. Tout le monde, ok? All right? Même les aveugles. All right? Les Écritures disent que every eye shall see him. All right? Tout œil va voir. You got it?
Apocalypse 1 et 7. Voici, il vient avec les nuées.
Yeah, il vient avec les nuées. Les nuées fait référence à quoi? Aux chariots, man. Ok? Les chariots que le monde appelle les ovnis ou bien les UFOs. Bien sûr, ce sont les anges du Seigneur qui conduisent ces véhicules, man. All right? Et cette technologie est beaucoup plus avancée que la technologie de Esau Edom, okay? Celui qui règne présentement. All right? Continue.
Et tout œil le verra.
Ça dit tout œil le verra, man. Ouais, c'est comme je mentionnais, même les aveugles vont voir Yahushua. Ok? Tout le monde va voir Yahushua. That's right. Ok? Continue.
Même ceux qui l'ont percé.
Même ceux qui l'ont percé, parce qu'il y a 2000 ans, les Romains qui ont percé, notre Seigneur, eh bien, ils reviennent dans la réincarnation, mais parce que les Écritures parlent de réincarnation. Right? N'a-t-il pas dit que Elijah n'a-t-il pas dit que Jean le Baptiste a l'esprit de Elijah? Ok? Yeah,
Ecclésiaste 3 et verset 15. Ce qui a déjà été, ce qui sera a déjà été, et Dieu ramène ce qui est passé.
Ouais, ce qui a été, je dis ça encore. Calme.
Ecclésiaste 3 et verset 15. Ce qui est a déjà été.
Ce qui est présentement a déjà été. Ok? Parlant des esprits, mais parce qu'un esprit ne peut pas mourir. Un esprit est énergie. Ok? Tu ne peux pas détruire l'énergie. Et le nom du Seigneur est aussi le Père des esprits. Alright? So, lorsqu'un homme meurt, ok, son corps retourne à la terre, son esprit retourne à celui qui l'a formé. Alright? Afin qu'il reçoive son jugement. Et il vient jouer son jugement sur la planète terre. Pense ça dans Ecclésiaste.
Ce qui est a déjà été, ce qui sera a déjà été, et Dieu ramène ce qui est passé.
Le Seigneur ramène ce qui est passé. Ok? So, ceux qui l'ont percé il y a 2000 ans, le Seigneur va les juger durant les temps où nous sommes présentement. À sa revenue, ils vont être jugés. Ok? Alright? Et ceux qui ont mis son peuple en captivité, le Seigneur a dit quoi? Ceux qui mettent en captivité iront en captivité. Alright? Parce que comment est-ce que les soi-disant noirs latinos et amérindiens, les Israélites qui sont dispersés vont recevoir la justice pour les atrocités qu'ils ont commises? Dis-moi ce pas. Comment est-ce qu'ils vont recevoir la justice? Le Seigneur voit tout ce qui se passe. Ok? Les nuées, les anges, ok, peuvent être invisibles, mais ils sont invisibles. Mais qu'est-ce quoi? Ils écrivent tous les actes des hommes et ils vont le rapporter au Seigneur. Une des caractéristiques de notre Père et de son Fils, c'est qu'il est non souffrant. Okay? Long suffering. Okay? So, il a laissé ses Édomites accumuler leurs péchés afin qu'il les juge au dernier temps. Man. All right? You got something? Yeah, I got something. Bring it up.
Zacharie 12 et 10. Et je reprendrai sur la maison de David et sur les habitants de Jérusalem l'esprit de grâce et de supplication. Et ils regarderont vers moi, celui qui ont percé.
That's right. All right? Et so, le Seigneur a répandu sur nous son esprit de grâce et son esprit de supplication. C'est pour ça que nous sommes en train de crier, okay, de nous plaindre à notre pouvoir, okay, chaque jour afin qu'il nous venge. Et le Seigneur est pour la vengeance. Les Écritures disent qu'il va apporter la vengeance. Apporte ton fils.
Ecclésiaste 3 et 16. J'ai encore vu sous le soleil qu'au lieu établi pour juger, il y aura de la méchanceté. Ecclésiaste 3 et 16. J'ai encore vu sur le soleil.
Sur le soleil, qu'est-ce qui se trouve sur le soleil? La planète Terre, ça dit quoi?
Qu'au lieu établi pour juger.
Le lieu établi pour juger, mais la planète Terre. Ok?
Il y aura de la méchanceté. Et qu'au lieu établi pour la justice, il y aura de la méchanceté.
Ouais, parce qu'il y a la méchanceté qui se produit ici. Mais pourquoi? Notamment parce que les Édomites sont au pouvoir. Okay? Qui sont les Édomites? Qui sont aussi ceux qui s'appellent les hommes blancs. Right? Mais non, ce n'est pas tous les gens qui paraissent blancs qui sont Édomites. Okay? Parce qu'une chose parmi les Israélites, on a couché avec beaucoup de femmes des autres nations. Mais de génération en génération, nos fils et nos filles ont pris les caractéristiques de ces femmes. Hein? Right? Hey, contrairement à ce qu'ils essaient de dire, the black Hebrew Israelites, ils sont racistes, ils sont juste pour les noirs. Non, mais okay, on a des frères qui paraissent comme des soi-disant hommes blancs. Le Seigneur a dit, ne jugez pas par l'apparence physique.
Jean 7 et 24.
The leader in Toronto, man. Yeah. Our brother Yeromia, man. Okay? He's really, his father's Russian, so to speak. Okay? But through the spirit, he's a Gadite. You see what I'm saying? So this is a spiritual thing, man.
That's right.
You see, but the reason why the Lord created it that way is to create a stumbling block for people who are not of the elect. To say, nah, to categorize it and say this is that and that is this. So they'll never go deeper. You understand? Like the first video that the apostles really got big off was the You're a Slut video with the chick, right? Like it was controversy, they put it on a World Star and all this. But right after that video, everyone was focused on that. They were coming up giving them hate because of that, which they told the truth, right? But after the next video, they went into the mark of the beast and how it's getting ready to come. So the ones that were focused on the controversy and the things that they couldn't understand, they didn't make it to the good stuff, to the stuff that was going to galvanize the mind. Go ahead.
Jean 7 et 24. Ne jugez pas selon l'apparence, mais jugez selon la justice.
Ne jugez pas selon l'apparence, mais jugez selon la justice. Le Seigneur requiert que l'on fasse preuve de jugement, de bon jugement.
1 Jean 4 et 1. Bien-aimés, n'ajoutez pas foi à tout esprit, mais éprouvez les esprits.
Éprouver les esprits. De quel esprit ils sont, parce que les Écritures parlent d'un esprit de vérité et un esprit d'erreur. Right? Et les Écritures disent que si tu ne parles pas selon ce témoignage, il n'y a pas de lumière en toi. Okay? Et quelle est la lumière? La lumière, c'est Yahawashi. Right? En fait, si tu ne pousses pas Yahawashi, okay, tu es dans la noirceur, tu es dans les ténèbres. Tu résides avec le diable. Right?
Mais éprouvez les esprits pour savoir s'ils sont de Yahweh. Car plusieurs faux prophètes sont venus dans le monde.
Car plusieurs faux prophètes sont venus dans le monde. Et on va citer sur ça, mais parlons des faux prophètes. Quelque chose qui s'est passé déjà?
Dans Nombre 1 et 18. Et ils rassemblèrent toutes les congrégations le premier jour
du second mois, et ils déclarèrent leur extraction d'après leur famille, selon la maison de leur père. Selon la maison de leur père, même. Ok? Donc une personne est jugée par la lignée de son père. Ok? Alright? Yeah. So tu es la même nationalité que ton père et non la nationalité de ta mère, même. Parce que, hey, on va dire la vérité, les Amalek, qui est la vraie nationalité des faux juifs qui sont là-bas dans notre terre, eux, ils jugent la lignée par rapport à la mère, là. Ce qui ne fait aucun sens. Relis ça encore. Nombre 1 et 18. Et ils rassemblèrent toute la congrégation le premier jour du second mois, et ils déclarèrent leur extraction d'après leur famille, selon la maison de leur père. Selon la maison de leur père, ok? Si tu es le fils de ton père, tu es la fille de ton père, ok? Donc je vais donner un exemple. Si un Israélite couche avec une femme soi-disant arabe, ishmaélite, ok? Leur fils, leur fille sera un Israélite, ok? Qu'importe l'apparence de l'enfant. Okay? Et même si ce fils et cette fille, ok, couchent avec une autre ishmaélite, ok, leur enfant sera encore israélite.
Pourquoi pas le fils, mais le fils? Le fils, pas le fils. Ils disent le fils et le fils. Juste le fils.
Right. Le fils, right, parce que si la femme couche avec un homme d'une autre nation, disons une fille israélite couche avec un homme d'une autre nation, l'enfant qui va sortir de la femme sera de la lignée du père. Okay? Donc si c'est un édomite, elle a rapporté un édomite, you know? Elle a rapporté un diable dans le monde.
That's a lie from a pit of fire.
That's a lie from a
You guys preach the story of the gospel. You guys obtain the word of God. You guys are racist.
Okay. No. Let's go into it. Let's go into it.
I don't have my Bible on me, but we can definitely actually let's do it.
Yo.
How about you give me a Bible? But give me a Bible that I can actually
Yeah, yo.
KJV, ESV, whatever you want to give me.
You go to your phone? All right. It's okay, brother.
You know what? She's gonna feel this.
What?
You guys are huge heretics, man.
Oh, were we just speaking about this?
You know what? It's fine, man. I mean, it's all right. The gospel, you guys preach a distorted, version of the
All I
gospel.
ask is don't get too emotional, right?
I'm not getting emotional. I'm rebuking you on the lies and deceptions that you got promoted all day, every day. That's what I'm doing.
So give me a lie. You said that you're a racist, right?
So you guys say
No,
that,
let's deal with the point. Let's deal with this decently in order.
I've had a conversation with
So
you
let's
before.
do this.
Hold on for a second.
Let's deal. Hold on.
You asked me a
This
question.
is our
Let me
platform.
answer.
This is our platform.
It's
So
not.
I'm trying to.
This is the earth
I'm
and
trying
the Lord,
to
and the fullness thereof is
establish some
God.
order so we can.
All right. So how about you go? Okay, go for
All
it.
right.
Let's go.
So the first thing is this. Let's deal with one topic at a time.
All right.
Jump
Let's
from
do it.
20 topics. All right.
I'm not jumping any topics. We haven't even brought one topic
You
up.
said we're
So I said
racist.
you
So
guys
we want
are
to deal with that.
racist.
You don't want to deal with that.
Because I know what you guys believe in. I know what you guys promote.
See, so
You
as
guys
you
promote
can see, these so-called Christians, they don't want the truth. They just want to talk.
So
So
tell
I'm
me
trying to deal with a
what is a Christian? Can you tell me what
A
Christian is?
Christian, today's
What is a
society,
Christian?
a Christian is someone who's
Now tell me what is a Christian according to the Bible.
according to the Bible,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were called for Christians where first?
So in Antioch,
In
right?
Antioch.
In the book of
So that
Acts.
wasn't what they were calling themselves. That's what
So
other
what
people were called.
what were they called?
They were called Israelites.
They were called
Followers of the Yahweh.
the people of the way, right?
Followers
They
of
called
Yahweh. No. They were never called. That's
book
not
of Acts.
It's called the followers of Yahweh.
Okay, in the book of Acts, the first time in Antioch that Paul actually reached out to these Christians. What were these Christians called the first time that Paul had an encounter with the Christians, all right? Or these, whatever you call them, right? What was their name in it? Tell me in the book of Acts, what was it? The followers of the way, the little Christ, that's what they were called.
The way is who?
So-
Who said
so-
he's the truth, the way, and the
so-
light?
so whatever
Did
you-
not, hold on. Did not the Lord
Let me
say?
hear it out first.
Did not the Lord say he's the truth, the way, and the light? So
Okay.
wouldn't they be the followers of Yahweh Shai or the Lord? at the end?
Why are you emotional? You
Huh?
call me emotional. You're the one who's getting triggered.
See, I'm
You're getting emotional.
not being emotional. I'm
All right.
being
So let's
passionate.
go back to the first time.
So hold on. You didn't answer my question.
Go ahead.
Would not they be called the followers of Yahweh Shai?
They were called the follower of the way.
Would not. So does that mean they're the followers of Christ and Yahweh Shai?
The followers of Christ. I don't know what.
Okay, so
however you call him. I know him to be Christ. I know him to be Yeshua.
What was his name?
I know
What was
him to
his
be
name?
the Son of
Christ back
God.
then? Were they calling him Christ?
Oh, they call him Yeshua, but
No, they didn't call him Yeshua.
They call him Yeshua.
That's not his name.
No, they
No,
did
that's
call
not
him
even. That's not
Yeshua.
even.
So the
ancient Hebrew. There was no U sound.
So what was
hold
his
on,
name?
There's
What
no
was his
U
name?
sign, U sound or E sound in the ancient
So
Hebrew.
what does it change?
But
What
you
does
don't
it
know
change?
that because you
What
don't
does
have
it
the name.
change? What does it
All
change?
right. If you don't have the name, guess what? You don't have the
But
truth.
how does it affect salvation? Can you please
I'll show you.
how does it affect salvation?
We're going to show you Acts chapter 4 and verse 12.
There's one name under heaven.
Neither is there salvation in any other. For there is none other name.
There's no other name.
Other-
So the name is very important. Get Proverbs the 30th chapter. Even going back to Proverbs.
Let me ask you this.
Let me deal with. Did I just tell you? Did I tell this guy from the beginning? You're listening.
But you just
Did
made
I
a
tell him
point.
from the beginning? Let's do one point
No,
at a time.
listen,
Let's
you
do
need a
that.
point,
So
right?
he's
Usually
not.
in
He's
the
telling you the truth.
conversation, you have a
Okay?
monologue
Being
to
honest.
discuss
This
things
means
out.
being honest. You're not being honest.
This is a dialogue.
Let's
You
do
made a point, let me respond to that point.
Okay, what's the point you want to have?
The
Don't
point that
don't
you
veer
made
too
is that
far.
neither is there any name under heaven among men whereby men can call upon to be saved.
What is
The
that?
name of Jesus Christ, right? Or Yeshua, right? However you call it. But
not
there's
the
some
name.
okay, the way I see this is that there's more power. It's the power behind the name. It's the power operating
Right,
from
the
behind
real
the name of the
name.
Most
The real
High.
name.
Because I'll tell you how I know
real
that.
name. And you don't
Because
have
you
the
can
real
have
name.
Jesus.
And you don't
okay?
have the real
You can
name.
have
You just
people.
proved it.
Well, listen up. You're not
Go
listening.
ahead, go ahead.
See, that's why
Finish
you're
it
not
up. Go ahead,
spiritually
finish it up.
discerned. Your eyes and your ears are
Go ahead,
closed.
finish
But
it up,
okay.
finish it up.
So suppose there's a Mexican guy whose name is Jesus. Okay, Jesus or Yeshua. All right. Okay. That would that make him the Savior? Of course not. So it's basically the power behind the name. It is the faith that we also have towards that name alongside the power behind that name that makes the name of the Most High King a name of salvation. It is not the name by itself, but it's actually what you make of that name. Because you can have many Jesuses around the world, you can have many Yeshuas, right? But what matters is the power, right? And what that name does for someone that believes in it with faith. That's what I believe in. All right. So I'm not gonna be stuck on a name as much as I'm gonna be stuck on the gospel message.
Okay, good.
And what it relates.
So my question is this.
Right?
You said a bunch of names. You said Jesus, you said Yeshua, and none of those are the
doesn't
true
matter.
names. So my thing is this. You said that there's power in the name. You don't even have the name. So therefore you don't have the power. So this is what we're showing.
Would you agree to say that the New Testament was written also in Greek? That was the original
It was
manuscript?
written from Hebrew to Greek. and then
Okay,
to
in Greek, what is the name in Greek?
It doesn't matter because it's not a Greek.
What is the name in
It
Greek?
doesn't matter. It would
Okay,
be
did the
Jesus.
apostle-
It would be Jesus.
Did the apostles?
It would be
Okay, so
Jesus.
since it's Jesus, when did the J come? When did the J come in place?
About 1500s.
All right, so
Say
there was
that.
no J. Okay, so there was no J sounding before, right? It came in the 1500s.
That's
right?
why it can't be
But
Jesus.
according to Greek manuscripts, it's still Jesus no matter what. And
Which is not correct.
who wrote the manuscripts?
That's not the correct name.
Did the apostles write the Greek or not?
No, but you see, there's different influences.
You're not
in- in-
answering.
in-
Did the apostles
they
write the
didn't
Greek? Yes or
no,
not?
no, they didn't write the Greek.
Who wrote the
they
Greek?
wrote in Hebrew. They were
Okay.
Galileans.
What about the church
Hold on,
leaders?
stop.
What about the
stop,
church leaders?
Stop. Right there, you just got caught.
No,
they
they-
were not. They did not write the Greek
No.
because they were Hebrew.
They did write in Greek as well, my friend. That's why you get your facts really wrong.
I'm going to show you right now.
Okay?
I'm going to show you right now.
It was-
read where they were
There
talking.
was the Aramaic manuscript, which is the Chaburi.
We're the
There was
same
the
thing
Hebrew
under-
manuscript,
show
also
you.
the
Let me show you what
Septuagint,
you're just gonna
and
be-
it was the Greek one as
this
well.
is why you
man.
can't
See,
do
that's
this
where you're
with
lying.
they don't
That's
want
where you're
it.
getting caught.
We're the same thing uttered in Hebrew and
He's being real
translated.
disrespectful. Hold on, stop. He's being real disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful.
I'm
I'm
not
trying to dialogue.
disrespecting you,
That's
lying,
okay, but
man.
we're hateful. But we're the hateful ones, right?
You are.
Yeah, this guy's full of hate.
Okay, so
go ahead.
who can be saved?
Keep going, keep
Since you're-
going.
wait a
We're the
second.
same thing.
No, wait a second.
We're the
Jesus-
same thing uttered in Hebrew
Finish it off.
and translated to another tongue
Right.
have not the same force in them.
Right. Anything translated to another tongue does not have the same force in it. Okay. Now let me say something else. You can't.
So how do you get
hold on.
someone-
You cannot translate a name.
Okay.
If your name is John, and then you go to another place, they call you Yika.
All right.
You say you're not going to respond.
So
to
what does
that
it matter
because
if you're
that's not your
living
name.
like
And
hellfire
we just
throughout
said-
the week
hold on,
and you
hold
call
on.
him the name
And
that
we
he-
just read that there's no other name under heaven whereby man must
So
be
what does it
saved.
matter
Stop.
if you're living like living?
You know what I asked for?
What does it matter if you're living? You see, you're having a monologue once
Go ahead,
again.
go ahead. Yeah, you have no
You're not.
we're
You're
the
not.
teachers.
You're not.
You don't even know the name.
You're not
you
talking
have
to
no
me.
power because you don't
No,
have the
because
name.
you're a legalist.
And you know what
That's
you're
what
gonna
you're doing
do?
is that you're
No, I'm
focused on
gonna
the
tell you.
name,
I'm
but
gonna
you
tell
don't
you.
have the fruits of the
I'm gonna
Spirit.
tell you.
You're focused on the name, but
See,
you're not
making
living like
accusations.
you're not living
What are the
life.
fruits
You're
of
not
the
living
Spirit?
according to
What are
the
the fruits of the
gospel.
Spirit? What are
Right.
the
So
fruits of-
listen to me.
What are the fruits of the Spirit?
Self-control, patience, endurance, which you're not doing right
Okay,
now.
hold on. I don't
So
have
listen
self-control.
up.
I'm not having patience with you
Right.
now.
So
Am I not
you're
dealing with
speaking all over me. You're not letting me. You're not.
But we're the teachers. That's what I'm
Friend,
trying
you're
to show
breaking
you.
the bond of peace. You're
I'm
not
talking
letting me
about
talk,
we're the
right?
teachers. Hold on.
Conversation,
This is
back
the
and
proof you don't
forth.
have any
Stop
respect.
speaking over
when
me.
you go to school, you
See what
stop the
you're doing?
teacher
You
and
can't
say,
stop
"Nah, I'm gonna
talking.
talk," because they don't have
You
any
can't
respect.
stop talking.
Yeah, that's
They
right.
don't have
Stop
respect for you. I'm
talking.
gonna tell you why.
That's right.
You can't
Because
stop
the so-called
talking.
black men up here. I'm gonna tell you the
That's
truth.
right.
All right.
You can't
If
stop
this were the
talking.
Amalekites going supposed to
You didn't
respond
hear
to
my
that. They were
question.
here.
Let me ask
They
my
wouldn't be
question
doing
again.
this.
That's right. That's right.
Here I am. So
That's
I
right.
ask the question again.
But because they have
You're
disrespect.
judging my questions.
Huh? Because
You're
they have
running
disrespect,
away.
so we don't have
You're
to-
running away. You're running away. You judge my question. You see, you're moving.
Proverbs
You're
chapter
hopping to something
30
else.
and verse 4.
It's
see
the
what
same
you do,
topic.
guys?
It's the same topic.
That's
It's
what
the
they
same
do.
topic.
You
It's
spit
the
out their
same
facts,
topic.
right, which is lies, and you
This
don't
guy's
allow
got
anyone to talk.
listen, man.
You want to have a
You're
dialogue,
a
but
big,
yet
you're
you're
big,
talking
but you're
along.
real emotional.
That's
So
what
this
they
is
do.
the same
You're
topic.
don't. Okay,
This
can
is
you
the
tell me
same
who's more
topic.
emotional? I'm going to have a dialogue.
Proverbs chapter 30.
Everyone
Okay,
can-
let's ask him. Let's ask him.
everyone
I wanna
can-
start- I'm
everyone-
curious.
everyone
Who do you
can
think?
see that you're the
Okay,
ones who are
let's ask him.
emotional.
Let's ask him. If he says,
And how are you saved? Can you tell me how you're saved?
Go ahead.
Can you tell me how you're saved?
Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4.
Did I just tell you don't jump around?
Ephesians 2:8 says
Well,
that you're saved by grace through
Let's
faith.
go.
not our own
We'll
works.
deal with
This guy
that
says
question
you have
next.
to-
We'll
you
deal
have
with that
to
question
say the
next.
specific name as it was
We'll
in
deal with
Hebrew
that question
in
next.
order to be saved. So he's
We'll deal with
judging-
that question next.
He's judging
Hold
the
on.
Bible.
We'll
he's
deal with that
saving the
question
Bible.
next. We'll deal with that question.
No,
Is
because
that good for
you haven't answered. Okay, so now
Is that okay
now
for
you
you?
want to
We'll deal with that
respond?
next.
Can you respond to my last question?
Hold on,
Did you hear what I
we're on the
said
last
before?
question.
My last question is that, okay, what do you do if you call, if you say the name properly, if you say the name properly, but you're living hell throughout the week, and you live in wanton habitual sin all the time, but yet you're saying the name as you should say it properly, as you guys actually, say it. So what happens there?
Well, we'll show you right now in the scriptures. What happens if someone is not living correctly when they call on the name?
Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone that calls on the name is going to be living. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Hold on,
Only if you will find it, right? Only if you will find life.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Now let's read.
So what does it mean?
Let's read. And there's about 2 billion Christians on it.
That's right.
So there we go. That's the problem.
But
Go
you're
ahead,
saying
keep
that
going,
you have to
keep
follow the
going.
name the way you guys
Hold on.
pronounce it.
In our
It's gonna get
country
you
right
saved.
now,
This guy is,
That's
I'm going to go to your camp. This guy is.
They stole our identity.
I'm listening.
But he's not listening.
Where you from?
How can you listen to
You
talk?
Israelite too?
Go ahead. Because you're a hypocrite.
Can you not know this? Call me hypocrite.
You speak Spanish.
We'll see who's the hypocrite.
You an Israelite too?
We'll see who's the hypocrite.
James 1 and 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of godliness, and receive with meekness the ungodly word which is able to save your souls.
Right.
But be ye doers of the word and not
Doers. That's it. So we're talking about doing the work. All right. So you can't just speak deeds. Okay. I believe in something. So you have to actually do it.
But this argument against you. Who said I didn't do the works?
Huh?
Who said I didn't do the works?
I didn't make no any accusation.
Okay, so how is wait a second, this actually goes against you.
No, we're
That was
still
the burden of
asking.
proof on you,
No,
because
bro.
this
Listen,
argues,
you
this
see how
is a-
emotional this guy is? You just asked us how he can be saved. We're trying to show him how he can be saved.
Okay.
And he's not letting
So
us
you're
speak.
saved by grace through faith, not our own works for a
We're
good
not even done.
workmanship.
We're not
Hear
even
me
done.
out. So the works are gonna save
All right,
me, bro.
bro.
Because
You
the
got it,
works,
bro. You
the
got it.
works,
You got
wait a
it.
second. If the works are gonna point out to my faith, then how is that even saying there that I have to call in a
We're
specific
not
name to be
even
saved?
done. We're not even done. We're not even done. We're trying to put the pieces together, but you can't get it because you've been rejected. You see?
No, I haven't been
Reprobate
rejected.
spirit.
I
Reprobate
haven't been
spirit.
rejected.
Okay?
Who are you to say that I'm
If you've
rejected?
been rejected, if you haven't been rejected, you would receive
Who are
it.
you to say that
If
I'm
you haven't been
rejected?
rejected, you would receive
I'm
it.
responding to that verse
You
that
can't
you made a
receive
claim
it.
with
Not even
earlier.
patient. He's not
That verse, can you read that verse again? Can you read that verse again? Can you read that verse again? Oh, there's no demons, man. You guys,
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 21. Not everyone that said no to me, Lord.
Let's wait. Let's
These are
let
the
him
liars,
speak.
deceivers
Let's
of
let
the last
him
days.
speak.
These are the ones that
Where have we
use
lied?
pronounce
Where have we
fake
lied?
oaths on
Where have
men.
we lied? Where have we
Earlier,
lied?
listen, earlier he said that we have to call on the name to be saved.
Right.
And yet he shows me
We just showed
a
you
verse
that.
where it says that, you know what, faith
Read it
which
again.
has nothing to do
Read it
with the fact that
again.
you have
Read
to
it
call
again,
a
brother.
specific name.
Hold on.
Whatever
You
that
just said
name
we
is,
lied.
Joshua, Yahweh,
Okay,
right?
okay,
However
stop.
people call that name, right, at the end of the day, what matters is that their faith would figure good works. That's how we know that they are crafted in, that they are children of the
We're
Most High.
going to show that you're a
But
liar.
you're a liar.
We're
You
gonna
are a
show
liar.
that
You
you're
guys are a liar,
that
a
you're
bunch of
false.
liars. You're going to hell, man.
Okay, cool.
You guys
Wait up,
pay
what?
the gospel.
Cool.
You guys
What's that? No, stop. We're not jumping. We're not jumping.
So you might say you're not know what this is about. These guys think that only the Hebrew Israelites, the black Hebrew Israelites can actually be saved. You cannot be saved.
We don't
One
even call
man
ourselves
is actually first. That's what they believe in. In case you don't know that. That's why I'm standing here for you not contending for our faith. Because you guys are liars and deceivers.
I'm not sure, but before you said that I can speak in only the time
Right before you go, right?
These guys think that you guys are Esau was the first pound, right? Is that Esau was actually, he sold his birthright for a lamb food. And he believes that we come from a freedom that comes from Esau. Therefore, we are not saved, but we are saved. You guys are not even Jews. You guys are false Jews.
That's what it said.
They are fake
Hosea
Jews. You guys have distorted the word of God throughout the message. Okay, so what about Cornelius? Was Cornelius a Gentile? Was he not saved? Tell me about Cornelius.
You go on those precepts. But we're going to get through what. But you know what? The best thing for you. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because we can't get.
I'm going to rebuke you
We can't get.
on your life because you guys are children of Satan. That's what you are. You guys are children of Satan. You guys are violent. You're aggressive. You don't even believe it. You say like grace for your baby. You are. All you Hebrew Israelites. You do believe it.
Where's it?
So can I be saved? Can I be saved? Can I be
Let me
saved?
show you something. Let me show you something.
Can I get
You said
saved?
we're violent, right?
Yeah, you are.
Look at how much serial killers were Christians. If anybody has that on their phone, look at how much serial killers. We're going to show you who's the real violent.
once again-
Hold on, Christopher Columbus, did he come with God
Okay,
and
so
Jesus?
was he a real
Hold on,
Christian? Was he a real Christian?
What
What is a real Christian?
He professed it.
What is a real
He
Christian?
professed it.
How do you know
He
that?
professed it.
How do you know a
So
real
how-
Christian from a fake Christian?
So with your logic, right? How do you know the ones that are doing the violence, like you say?
I'll tell
That's
you
not
why.
going around.
I'll
How do
tell
you know
why.
they're real?
Because I've been following you guys long enough, right, on the
Following who?
internet,
Following
and
who?
it doesn't
Following
matter. I
who?
don't even follow these
Following
guys.
who?
You see these guys
Following who?
I follow
Following
Christ. Follow your tribe, your Hebrew roots, your Hebrew Israelites, you know.
What do you know about
and
us?
your
What's the name of
so-called
us?
Christians.
What do we call ourselves?
Are you
What do we call ourselves?
Sakharis? Are you
No.
Sakharis?
So what do we call ourselves? What do we call ourselves?
I don't know.
No, you said you know
All I
us.
know
You said
is
you
that
know us. You said
you
you know
guys
us.
say,
And then another thing
you guys
said,
say that the white man is an Adamite, don't you?
so-called.
All right. Do you
So-called.
think you believe that
And
the
you know,
white man can
you
be
know,
saved?
you know what we mean by
You
so-called?
believe that the white
There's
man
people
can
that
be
look
saved?
like white people that could be saved.
No, you believe that an Englishman or an American or
Absolutely. If
Canadian
he's
can
an
actually be
Israelite.
saved.
If he's Israelite, if he's like the
What if he's not an Israelite?
If he's not Israelite, you can't be
So,
Israelite.
where do you find that in scriptures? Where is there a basis for that in scripture?
All those precepts, but I want to deal with one thing. You said you were a liar based on something. You just said like a million things before I could get to that.
What you just
Because
said.
because
Wait,
you
no, you
can't
just proved
because
yourself to be
because
a
you don't
liar.
have the truth. Because you don't have the truth.
I
That's
do
why you
have
have
the
to
truth.
keep talking like
The
that.
Bible says,
I want
if
to deal
continue
with
the word
you.
of
I want to deal
Christ,
with you point by point.
I will know the truth, and the
Now,
truth
hold
will
on,
set
hold on.
me
You
free.
said
The
you're a
truth
liar.
that I am saved
What
by
did
the
you
blood
say
of
you're a
Christ
liar
and
on
the
based
finished work
on
of the
that?
cross.
Because you made a
That's good enough.
Huh?
How are you saved?
No,
How
he
are
said
you
something
saved?
else, man. I'm trying to remember, man, what he said, man.
How are you saved?
Oh, he said, no, he said he made two.
I want to know how you're saved.
Read that part.
I know you're
he
saved.
He said that we're liars.
Bro, I
because he
promise
said
I'm
if
going to
you
listen to you. I give you my word. Just listen. Okay, I'm going to listen
This
to
is
you.
how these Christians-
No.
This is how these
See what
so-called
you're
Christians are.
doing? See what you're doing is that you're condemning me right now. So you're doing
Because
exactly
you're
what I did
disrupting the
earlier.
word of the Most High.
Right.
You're
Listen,
disrupting
I'm
the
going to
word
have
of
a
Yahweh.
conversation with you. But
And you don't even understand
Man,
what
you
you're
got
doing.
one Bible,
You don't
two
even get
Bibles,
what
three
you're doing.
Bibles.
Give me Ecclesiastes.
Verses left and right. Let's stick to one verse
Ecclesiastes.
at a
How do I
time.
stick to one if you keep talking?
I'm gonna
How
listen
can I
to
keep
you.
going? But you're still talking.
But I want to ask you a question, then I'll listen. I'll step
Like,
back.
you just ask a question.
No,
okay,
I
ask a
can I'll
question.
step back.
Go ahead. You know
How
what? Go
are
ahead.
you
Go ahead.
saved?
I'm
How are
on
you
the phone.
saved?
I'll be humble.
How are you saved? How are you saved? How are you saved?
Okay, let's get it.
Can I just say, this is the book.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. What do you have to say? What do you have to say? You want to say something?
Can I be saved?
Okay, you be saved? Well, I don't know. It depends if you're an Israelite or not. That's what it depends on. Okay?
That's the word gospel right there.
Well, we'll show you that.
That's the word.
We'll show you.
Gospel
We'll prove
right there,
it.
which is
Give me some
not
scripture.
scriptural.
Give me some scripture. Okay, what's not
The
scripture?
Bible says that
Okay, he said it's not in the
Jesus
scripture.
is Lord and Savior in your mouth.
Get Romans in that chapter.
Jesus died
Get Romans in that chapter.
He can be saved.
See,
Everyone
this
who
is the
calls
deception
on
that
the Lord
Christianity
shall be
is
saved, the Bible says. It is the finished
John
work of Christ.
4 and 22. They worship what they know not. They worship, they know
This is the
not
Lord
what.
speaking to the woman that was at the well. Okay, she was in some other nation. All right, go ahead, read it.
John 4 and 22. They worship, they know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
That's the Lord Himself.
What is
He said,
what is a real Jew? What is a real Jew?
Okay, I thought you said, no. That's not true. The cameras are catching this, eh? The cameras are, even your people are seeing this, eh? No, we're all trying to be humble with you guys.
Man,
but
you're
but
getting me
listen,
hyped up,
it's
man. I'm sorry,
impossible.
bro.
It's impossible when a guy's so emotional. He's all big and muscle bound, but he's emotional.
I
Go
want
ahead,
to-
bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm saying this for him. I'm not saying it for the rest. I'm saying it for him and the brothers. That's
I'm
it.
listening,
Go
brother.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Romans 9 and 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites.
Okay, he said that he wished he could be saved for his brethren according to the flesh, who are Israel. Wish he could win up on the cross. For his brethren according to the flesh, who are Israelites. This is Paul speaking. Okay?
to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory.
To whom pertaineth the adoption? What's the adoption? The Lord dying on the cross to bring the people back to their Heavenly Father. We're going to show you why that is. Because there's something that happened. Listen, get Hosea. Get Hosea. We're going to show you. We're going to break it down all the way. We're not about emotions, just talking over to people. We're going to show you based on the Bible. That's it. And the ones that are the true believers, they're going to listen and they're going to find it. Go ahead. The ones that are emotional Satanists working through them, they going to find it. Go ahead.
This is Hosea 1.
So you
Verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people.
Who was he speaking to here? Of course they don't know. Who is he speaking to? He's speaking to the Israelites. He said, you're not my people no more. Why did he say that? Because they kept disobeying his laws. Alright, go ahead.
And he said, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
But he's saying, yet, at the end of the day, children of Israel will end up being like the sand of the sea that cannot be numbered. And that's why we say that we don't know if you're an Israelite, because we have Israelites all around that are mixed in, all right, over many generations that look like other nations. You know how much documentaries there are of guys saying, oh, you know, I thought I was white, that looked at my great-great-grandfather, he was actually a so-called black, so-called slave. See, does that make him an Edomite that looks like that? No, that's carnality. He's an Israelite that just happened to be mixed in. Right? Say it again. C'est ça. Brother. There's a particular.
Paul keeps reading. Paul keeps writing.
And it shall come to pass.
So you just
Can we get 3 more scriptures? 3 more scriptures, I'll let you talk.
Man, I just saw you talk for 10 minutes, bro. I mean, I saw you guys have been doing talking.
And it shall come to pass.
I'm gonna let him talk. I'm gonna see what he has. He seems to be honest. What do you say? I didn't hear what you said.
He hasn't even read the Bible, man.
Go back and forth.
He hasn't even read the Bible. Poor guy. You guys are brainwashing the dude.
And it shall come to pass.
Well, let me read 2 more. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
This is one of the places where it was said, "You're not people." And you just say, "You're not Jesus. You're just black." Right? Go ahead.
Ye are not my people. There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Eventually, it's going to come. The truth is going to come out.
Right.
Even this whole thing that fiasco is, well, that's up to Heavenly Father. He controls everything. All right. That's all the fiasco, but it's spreading the truth regardless.
No, it's not.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's not. You're spreading like...
Go ahead.
This is Hebrews.
Go ahead.
Hosea 8.
Kanye doesn't have this because he has a part.
Hosea 8 and verse 8.
Okay, but you can just say that, but you're not proving it. Go ahead.
I will prove it.
Hosea 8
It's not like
and
I have a
verse
Bible in my hands.
8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
No, now shall they be among
You guys are demons.
This is very important.
False teachings.
Read that
last days.
Hosea 8 and verse 8. Israel is swallowed up.
Israel is swallowed up. See, he doesn't care. Israel is swallowed up. Go ahead.
Now shall they be among the Gentiles.
Now shall they be among the Gentiles, the scattered, and they'll end up looking like those Gentiles. Okay, go ahead.
As a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
As a vessel wherein there is no pleasure. So we're among the Gentiles. We look like the Gentiles. Maybe Isaiah 11 and 11.
Okay, so are you done soon? Are you done soon?
We got 2 more.
Are you done soon? You're just going
This
to
is
quote the whole
Isaiah
Bible with...
chapter 11 and 11.
Out of context.
And it shall come to pass
Out of context.
in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time.
You have demons, man. That's what
The Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover
There's
the
no spirit in you, man.
remnant.
There's no fruit of the spirit in you.
That the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Now he's going to set his hand the second time to recover the remnant.
Comes to divide.
Which shall be left from Assyria.
From Assyria, this is a place that where heathen dwell. Initially, these are non-Israelites.
So what is it?
Right?
And from Egypt,
but Israelites will be there.
What is a real Israelite according to the New Testament?
and from Egypt,
Romans 9, 10, 11. What is it? What is a real
So we know that
Israelite?
those as a whole were not the Israelites. That's
What
the
is
Lord
a
did-
real
That's why
Israelite? You see how he's
that's
dodging
why the
every
Lord
question that I'm
doesn't.
asking? He's not listening. He's having a monologue with himself and with his buddies.
I just want to know why your Bible is better than...
It's not that they're better. They're actually excluding you and everybody else. They're saying that no one can be saved except that they're actually Israelites in the flesh. That is a life with a bit of fire. Romans 9, 10 onwards.
Well, not just
that
we
as
just read
true.
it. We just
The
read it.
true Israelites. Yeah, because you took one verse out of context.
Now we can read the whole
Like,
thing. We can go through the
Romans
whole
3,
thing. Let's go through all of Romans 9.
It
We can
speaks
go
of
through the
the
whole
Spirit.
thing.
What it
Romans
says
9,
that a
9
man,
is not
if you Jew now on the
Romans
new
9 and 1.
covenant, is actually when you
I
they're
say
not
the
listening,
truth.
because they don't know.
Okay, no, let me finish.
They want you to be limited and bound, right, to slavery, to that flesh which they're actually reaching about. Now that we're under the law of grace and the Spirit, the true Israelites are the ones that are circumcised of the heart, not of the flesh. That is why in Joel 2:28 in the Old Testament, the Lord says that in the last days He will pour out His Spirit on all flesh, our handmaids and their servants. Brother, they're servants. If you're going to tell me, wait a second, because I listened to you for 10 minutes, you're going to tell me that only the Jews, right, in the flesh, or only the Israelites, however you call them in the flesh, can be saved, then how come God is speaking about their handmaids and their servants, which the Spirit of God will be poured out on them for them to be saved? Then you go to Book of Acts, you see Cornelius, who's a Gentile. He becomes crafted in, right, because of faith, because he believed in the finished work of Jesus. Well, there's absolutely no way that what you're saying is actually making any sense at all. This is alive on the pit of fire. Jesus said in Ephesians 2:14, guys, that his body was broken on the cross so he would bring the wall of hostility down. These guys are bringing division by saying that only a group of people can be saved, and they're excluding everybody else. They're saying that if your father is not an Israelite, and if we can't trace you back to your father's genealogy, then you, my friend, you're not saved. That's why they're saying
not if you trace it back.
life on the pit of fire.
That's not
These guys are distorting and came the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, which is spiritual and it's not fleshly. God so loved the world that He gave His one and only begotten Son, that whosoever believes on Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. What's the requirement? You must believe on the finished work of Jesus. You must believe that you're a sinner and repent for your sins and turn to Christ. That is the number one condition for you to be saved. They're preaching they're preaching blasphemy. They're distorting the word of God. They're discrediting, and they're calling themselves real Hebrews. What a shame! These guys are liars. They're children of Satan. Jesus said in the last days they will teach teachings of demons. That's what they're doing, right? They're taking the verses out of context. A real Israelite is one that is circumcised by the heart. How do we know that? Right in Zechariah, the Bible speaks of two different churches in the last days crafted into the vine, right? One that is a wild olive tree and one that is already restored. And so this speaks of the nation of the Gentiles alongside the two Hebrews. These guys are liars, man. These guys are liars. These guys are liars.
Can you graft an apple tree to an olive tree? Naturally?
They're two. They're two different ones. You see what you're doing right now?
Can you graft an apple tree to an orange tree?
That's what the Bible teaches, by the way.
Hold on.
It teaches it's
Hold
two
on.
different trees.
Stop. You just said
Into
something.
Christ.
No. The point is this. They're olives. That's the point. They're
Okay.
olives. That's the point.
Are they both
Meaning what?
olive
They're
trees?
Israelites.
Are they both olive
Meaning-
trees or not?
Yes. Meaning
Are
they're
they
both
one wild
Israelites.
and one restored,
Meaning
right?
They're both Israelites.
No, they're not.
But one is following after the heathen,
Okay.
which is known as. You know there's two Gentiles in the Bible. You know
Okay,
that?
so yes,
No,
I know.
what are the two Gentiles?
Okay, so there's the Greeks, right?
Okay. No, it's not about Greek. No, the Lord,
So how about
he's
you
just dealing
explain?
with the Greeks.
So
No.
how about you tell me in that case?
Oh, okay, good, great.
How about
That's
you
like
tell
you're
me?
getting the
Yeah, I listen. I can humble myself and I can listen to you.
Okay.
Well, what you're preaching is a false gospel, man.
1 Corinthians
Paul
chapter
went for the
12,
Gentiles.
and
Paul
verse
went for
1.
the Gentiles.
Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would have you not ignorant.
Right.
Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols,
Woo.
even as ye were led.
Right,
Yeah, so
right.
this
Meaning you were once.
Wow, but this
Hold
speaks of
on.
paganism, man. What are you talking about, man?
I'm trying to explain it to
Oh,
you, but
man,
you
these
get-
guys.
Bro.
All right, so you don't have. Okay, so are you a Gentile? Is she
Bro,
a
I
Gentile
got
or
like
not?
3 more precepts.
Is she
to
a
show you.
Gentile? Yes or
I got
no?
3 more precepts to
Is
show
she
you.
a Gentile? Yes or
Huh?
not?
I don't know. I don't know who she is.
Okay, so
I
she's
don't know- I
a
don't know who she is.
Gentile who gave her life to Jesus. She's not a Jew. She's not born of a mother.
But guess what?
or
If she's not an
father
Israelite, no,
who was
I'll
a
say,
Jewish.
I'll say this though. I'll say this: if she's not an Israelite, which clearly, if she's not an Israelite, right? She's a Gentile, right? But if she's an Israelite that she's following up the heathen ways, she's a Gentile in
Okay,
spirit.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Please give me that verse, okay? Next, please hear me out for a second, all right? Where did Jesus ever say that you have to be an Israelite, okay, to receive Him or to receive the gift of salvation and to
Didn't
be
we just
saved?
read?
Where does it say that?
Didn't we just read that when he was speaking to the heathen woman at the well, he said, "You know not what you worship, but
Okay.
salvation is of the Jews."
Yeah,
That's clear
and
as
salvation
day.
did come
That's
from the
clear
Jews.
as day.
No one ever denied that.
Salvation of means what?
Yeah.
For.
Okay.
So salvation means saved
came
is
of the
for.
Jews.
No. The word of means
Okay.
for there. of, meaning for the Jews.
So what happened? What happens then when Paul? Okay, so explain to me then when Paul goes to the Gentiles, when Paul is going around Asia Minor, when Paul is actually crossing over to different nations.
Don't we call ourselves Canadians today? Are we Canadians? So he might call himself an Irish. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if he's an Israelite or not. He calls himself a Haitian.
So
These are Gentiles around the world.
Okay. Did we not all come from Noah? Did we not all come from Adam?
Oh, Virgin City, okay, read that.
Did we not? Did we not all come from Seth, from Jackson, and from Shem? Did we not come from Adam and Noah?
We did. We're gonna answer that question.
Right.
James 1.
So you're the one who's fractioning
We
people
got all
in
of
communities.
You're making an assumption we didn't even get to answer yet. This show us your emotions.
No, I'm not
This
emotional.
is why you can't get it.
I'm not emotional because you guys make no sense
James
at all.
1 and verse 1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua,
Lies.
to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings.
Woo! Scattered around the earth. You
Right.
understand? So meaning what? They're going to start looking like this. That's why Romans 8 says they have to try and find
This
so
is
what
not
he's
taking
saying is
away.
it's a misrepresentation.
This is
of
not
what we're
taking
about.
away from the
But
fact
this is
that
all about
even the
the Bible.
Gentiles
This
can
is
actually be
what
saved. When James spoke about the 12
After
tribes,
these
James
things,
spoke
Adam also,
specifically
Hold
to
on,
you
bro.
because you had a-
No, bro, I
You're
can't even get to it. Hold on.
You gotta let me back up my claims now.
This is the book
You
of
just made an
Isaiah.
argument. You gotta let me
Back
back
up
up this
here.
argument.
Don't babble with your-
There's a verdict from on human, so let me back up that. Oh, sorry, I'll let
This is
myself.
Isaiah 28 and verse 10. For precept must be upon
Hold on.
precept.
Go up to the beginning.
This is Isaiah 28 and 9.
Taking the Bible out of
Whom
context
shall
once
he
again.
teach knowledge?
Okay, listen. This is how you understand the Bible.
They're saying that you
Hold on. Listen to everyone. This is how you understand the Bible. Okay, go ahead. Read.
This is Isaiah 28 and
This is
9.
how you get understanding of the Bible. Listen.
You don't know the Bible, man. You don't know God. You don't have the Spirit of God. You guys are reprobates.
Whom?
You guys are
Whom
reprobates.
shall he-
You guys are going to
Whom
be
shall
exalted
he
in
teach
hell.
The servant is not better
You guys
than
are
his
liars.
master.
You guys, listen, you guys made it. You made
Whom shall
Jesus
he
to be a
teach
black
knowledge?
man.
And
Who
whom
cares
shall
about
he
his
make
skin
this
color?
to
Who
understand
cares about his
doctrine?
skin color? What matters is the heart, man.
That are weak from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Read
Okay, you
that
laugh,
again.
man.
Read
You
that
gotta laugh.
again. Read that again.
You
Read
laugh.
that again.
You don't know what you're saying before
No,
God.
no, read that again. Read that again. Don't laugh.
Racist, and then you wonder why I call you racist earlier.
Whom-
You wonder why I call you racist
Whom shall he
earlier.
teach
You're not
knowledge?
the one racist, man.
You don't even know what
Racist, man.
Go ahead.
Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Who shall the Lord teach? That knowledge. Who shall
You're
he make
you're
to
not
understand doctrine?
you're not proving anything,
Them
man.
that are weak
Hold on, hold on. I said 2 seconds. I didn't even get through the scripture yet, and we didn't prove it. You haven't proved it, bro. You make yourself look bad on your panel. But how can we prove it if you keep talking? How can we prove anything if you don't want to hear it?
For we are saved by grace through
Give me the
faith.
death addict. Give me the
Now,
death
yo,
addict.
bro, I still must
How
not
can
be
we- how can
saved
we- how
by
can we
grace
prove
through
anything if
faith.
you don't want
Grace
to
for
bring it up?
Our heart.
them that are weak from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept.
Precept must be upon precept.
Precept.
What does it mean? Precept must be upon precept. That means you have to get different precepts, meaning different lines in the scriptures. Go ahead.
For precept must be upon precept,
Yep.
precept upon precept,
Yep.
line upon line,
Line upon line.
line upon line,
Uh-huh.
here a little,
Here a little,
and there a
and
little.
there a little. That's how you break down the Bible. You got to go from here and there and there. That's why we're jumping around to show you the
And that's
puzzle.
why I
We're
gave you
putting
the full
puzzle
counsel of
together.
God. I
Okay,
gave you
but
the
he
full
can't do
counsel
that
of
because the Holy
God.
Spirit's not with him.
Now the Holy
That's what
Spirit
we're
is
showing
with
you. Go
me,
ahead.
man. Yeah,
And guess
well,
what?
cool, man.
And the fact that most of the people are with,
How is that?
him, we expect that. If let's say most of the people are with him, we would expect that because guess what? That's the broad way. All right?
No,
Christianity that these people
No,
are pushing.
man.
That's the
You
broad
don't know
way.
nothing
This
about
is
my
the
life. You
straight
don't know
gate.
how I walk
Okay?
after the Lord. You don't know if I'm
Psalms
following commandments or
119
not.
and verse
I have
104.
no idea.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Through that priest, what the scripture says to hear the matter before you speak on it. All right, so clearly you're not keeping that. Go ahead.
Have you heard me out?
Through thy
Bro,
precepts.
we heard you about 50
Okay,
times.
honestly,
We heard you like 50
Say
times.
more.
Okay, let's hear him out again. Let's hear him again for a final. Let's hear him again.
Who's speaking more?
Ah ouais, j'ai une question si je peux aller là-dessus.
Where I can
Où est-ce que je peux aller?
These guys are liars. They're
So
liars.
but that's okay. You can believe that.
They're fabricating lies.
That's okay. But who was speaking for it? Okay, that's cool. That's good. That's okay. That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Through that precept, I get understanding.
Yep.
Therefore, I hate every false
He
way.
hates every false way.
So
right?
what?
So,
Okay.
so how do you find out the false way? Through the precepts. Through the different lines in the Bible showing you this means that. But get me.
They're teaching me like, okay, under 2 or 3 witnesses. That's how you get a good testimony. Pull out as many verses. We know that, man. I don't even have a Bible.
Isaiah 8 and
And I
20.
quote the scripture to you.
To the law and to the testimony.
Yep.
If they speak not according to this word,
If they speak not according to this word, this Bible, all right, it's using words that are hard. You know, the heart is deceived. Go ahead.
it is because there is no light in them.
Because there is no light in them. So we're not here, listen, we're not here for the masses. We're not here to wake up the masses.
You guys are
We're here to
hatred.
wake up
Yeah,
the chosen,
you don't
the
have the
elect.
spirit, man. No
Okay?
self-control,
Read
no
that again,
love,
read
no
that again.
endurance, no patience.
We have no
It says
nothing.
Isaiah 8 and 20.
Oh, man.
To the law
We have no
and to the
self-
testimony.
That's okay. Go ahead.
If they speak not according to this word, it is
Being the
because
thing we entreat. Doesn't the scripture say that? Being the thing we entreat. Go ahead.
if they speak not according to this word,
Yeah.
it is because there is no light in them.
Is that accurate? No,
This
no.
is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse
You've
9.
been bringing out words out of the Bible the whole time. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things.
The heart is deceitful above all
That's
things. So
your
when
heart.
you're speaking out of
That's
your
your
own
heart.
heart, and you're
That's
not using the
what you
Bible,
say.
you're not using
That's
the
why
words
you
of the
Christ.
Bible, all right, that's deceitful above all things. Go ahead.
And desperately wicked.
And it's
That's your
desperately
heart right there.
Okay,
That's
go
why you
ahead.
need
Who can know it?
Who can know it? And that's why they only speak out of their heart. They don't use the Bible. They can't deal with us with the Bible, so they got to use theatrics.
Oh man, you don't
speak
know the
loud,
spirit, brother. You
and
know
the smoke
theory.
speak out of
That's
their
why you
mind.
know theory.
Right? When they're not
But the
speaking
spirit
anything
does
that's
not
scriptural.
dwell
Nothing
in
is
you.
scriptural.
The spirit of life and peace does not dwell inside of you.
2 Corinthians
You're full
4
of
and 3.
arrogance and pride.
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are
If
lost.
our gospel is hidden, what we're seeing is hidden to
You
you in
are
your mind.
you're storing
it's
up
because
wrath,
you're
the wrath
lost.
of God
They're
upon your
warning you
own
about
lives,
being deceived.
the wrath of God upon your own
In
head.
whom
Very
the
soon,
power
you guys
of
will
this
see the
world
judgment of
hath
Christ
blinded
upon
the
you.
minds of them
You guys
which
are the
believe
Pharisees
not.
and the Sadducees.
Lest the
which
light
did not
of the
allow
glorious
you.
gospel of
You are the
Hamashiach, who is
proselytes.
the image of the Most High, should
Proselyte
shine unto
people.
them.
Right. So
You
the Lord,
are liars,
the Heavenly
you're
Father is the one
fakers.
that blinded them.
You are blasphemers, false
We don't
teachers,
expect the majority.
false prophets.
This is
That's
only
what you
for a
are,
small
man.
amount.
That's what you are, people that condemn and that judge.
For we preach not ourselves,
You will not escape. You will not escape the fire of hell.
for we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach, the Lord, and yourselves your servants, for Yahweh's sake.
You guys are liars. That's what you are, man. No one should. He who listens to you listen to Satan. He who listens to you listen to Satan.
The deceiver and the deceiver are his.
Right. So anyone who's
He who listens to these guys listens to Satan. He who listens to you
so we
listens
deal
to
with
Satan. Man, that's not evangelism. You guys are
wisdom.
explaining
No,
to
no,
us.
no, he's with them. He's with
You guys are
them.
liars. Brother, don't listen
And
to
the
them.
deceiver
They're
are
going to
his.
the hellfire. I
The
promise you.
deceiver and the
I have people that came out from their
What?
group.
This is
People that can tell
Revelation
you about the
22
cult.
and verse
Yeah,
7.
okay,
Give me
that's
the
what they
light.
have.
Hold the
Cult
line.
people.
Behold,
They don't
I come
understand the
quickly.
way they understand it.
Blessed is he
Who comes quickly? And it's going to be a surprise to all these people because they're not going to be expecting that one. They're going to expect that with long hair. Oh my son.
He
See,
doesn't
go
want the
ahead.
thing
Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
Right, and we're dealing with the prophecy. They're not dealing with the prophecy. They're dealing with their own heart. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 1. The wicked flee when no man pursue
He's
it,
getting ready to get because he's still sticking. Go ahead.
but the righteous are bold as a
We're
lion.
not going to leave. We're willing to answer every question anyone comes
This
up
is
with.
a fake replica of the
But when
gospel
someone is
message.
out of
These
order,
guys are liars
hey,
and
they're
they're
not
bringing
gonna
the
get
wrath
the
of God upon themselves. They don't know what Jesus said. They don't know what Jesus said. You agree, right?
Hebrews chapter 4 and
And you
verse
guys
2.
are liars.
For unto
Deceivers
us
in the
was the
fire. We're
gospel
gonna say
preached,
Unto us was the gospel preached. We heard the gospel. Go ahead.
as well as unto
How
them.
do you
Unto all these people.
How do you get your sins atoned
But the
for?
word
Wait a
preached
second.
did not profit
I
But
them,
the word preached in the prophet.
You think they don't
Go
want
ahead.
to sin?
not being mixed with the faith
Because they didn't have the faith in Yahweh Shai.
Bro, I bet they don't even know how
in
to
them that heard it.
And then that. Yeah, shut up.
You're all liars.
But you said you wanted to go with that.
You're a liar, bro. You're a faker, man. You guys don't know the gospel. You guys want to teach the gospel. You guys are racist. That's how you are, man. You're a bunch of racists. You're a bunch of racists. Man, see the blood of Christ. We are saved by the
That's
blood
a
of
sin.
Christ.
That's a sin.
How do you say? How do you say?
You just say. That's a sin.
How do you say? How do you say? How do you say?
Go ahead. Go ahead. That's
How
the
do you
devil.
say?
That's the devil, brother. That's the devil, brother. That's the devil, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, man.
You're expecting the guy's looking at Jordan and the guy's calling him a child of God, man. That's what you guys make of people. You guys are liars and deceivers.
Hold on.
Calm the fuck down.
See, even she knows. Even she knows. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Even she
They're
knows.
Christians. Okay, so
When the truth
okay, I want you.
the truth, you don't even know what I'm saying. You're racist. The truth, no, we're not. I mean, hold on. No, let me stop here. Hold on. What is the name? What does the word
Okay, but
racist
wait.
mean? I don't want to say we're not. What is the word
Okay,
racist?
like racism.
I says here, by sanctifying the Lord power in their hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks
So
it.
when you read the scripture, you know what the Lord is going to deal with you. How is Shaz going to deal with you? He's going to meet you. He's going to see him now when somebody. Go ahead. They're going to see what we're saying is true. Go ahead.
And be ready always to give an answer to every man
No,
that asks
we'll start it from the beginning. That's the Hebrew rule.
Can I read it?
First Peter 3
Yeah,
and
we're going to
15.
read it, but you can't, you know, this guy's too.
Yeah, but I would like to read it.
No, we're going to read it. We're going to read it.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
How you say it? How you say it? Tell me how you say it.
It says here,
Without
but
the
sanctify the
remission
Lord
of
in
blood.
your heart,
No,
and be
no, without
ready
saying, no one
always to
can
give
give-
an
no one
answer.
can
This is what he's saying to the disciples. Be ready to answer every question that comes
I
up.
want to talk to this guy, man. I want to talk to this guy.
Go
This
ahead,
guy's
go
humble, man.
ahead.
It's not like
Read
you.
it again.
And be- First
Read it
Peter
again.
3 and
How you
15.
say it? How you say it?
But sanctify the Lord power in your hearts, and be always ready,
Sanctify the Lord power in your hearts. Go ahead.
and be ready always to give an answer.
You guys are going to go to hell,
He
man.
ready
I'm
to
telling
give
you
an answer.
from
He
a
wasn't
man.
ready to give an answer. All right. Every time he asked, he would just skim over the question. All right. He doesn't have an answer. All right. Go ahead.
And be ready always to give an answer to every
And we're
man.
always ready to give an answer. Anybody that wants to ask any
Everything.
question, we're
Everything.
always ready to give an
Everything.
answer.
Liars.
Okay? Any question anybody wants to ask, you can ask it right now. And we'll answer it based on the Bible, not based upon our emotions. Okay? Based on the Holy Scriptures, man. All right? Shalom. You're a Latin tribe, Latino, something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
You're very cool. You're an Issachar, right, brother?
Yeah.
You're from the tribe of Issachar, brother. You're one of the
I just
sons
wanted
of
to
God.
ask,
Yeah.
so what are the Jews from?
What are the Jews?
Yeah, like the Jews living in Israel right now.
Oh, okay, we'll show you. Get Ezekiel the 36th chapter and the 5th verse. We'll show you right now. All right? You see when Satan leaves, everything becomes clear. Now questions can be answered. What?
Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen, against all Idumea, which have appointed my land unto their possession with the
Okay, hold on. Spoken, read that nice and slow. That part there.
Got it. Against the residue of the heathen, and against all
Now
Idumea.
he's speaking to the Edomites, all right? Another way of saying Idumea is Edomites. The Edomites, that's a race of people. Edomites, okay?
As in from the Eden?
From Edom, from the line of Edom, from a man named Esau.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you had two brothers, right? You had Jacob and Esau.
Yeah.
Okay? Matter of fact, get Second Ezra. Let's go now. Get Second Ezra, right? The 6th chapter. We'll show you. Okay? Because this whole battle in the earth that's going on, because this is nothing but a big movie that way. Okay? The Heavenly Father created this movie. Right? You have the good and you have the wicked. All right? He created the people to be the good. He created the people to be the wicked. He created amongst the people that are the good, he brought the chosen, okay, which is the elect. Okay, we're going to deal with this one by one. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
So he's asking, when is going to be the end of the world? When are the Israelites going to come into rulership? All right.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac,
Yep.
when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
Right, so it said it went back to Jacob and Esau. Now, Esau is the father of the Edomites. Okay. In this scripture it says Idumea. All right, so it's the Edomites. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, then you have Jacob, the father of Jacob, right? That's the father of the Israelites, 12 tribes. Because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, which is us, which is you, brother, which is all of us here. Okay, we are the sons of Israel. Okay, go ahead.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yeah.
For Esau is the end of the world, and
Esau meaning what? Esau is the end of the world. Okay, meaning they'll be ruling at the end of the world before the world collapses and
Didn't
all
the
the
world
rest.
mean everything after Revelation?
Every-
Fire and rain?
No, not everything, not everything. Because after Revelation, there's also the kingdom of heaven, right? So everything that's going to happen before the kingdom of heaven, that's what it is. Everything before the kingdom of heaven, that's the Edomites. They will be the last rulers to rule. Okay? So keep going.
For Esau is the end of the world,
That's what it means. Esau's the end of the world. Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow
And
it.
Jacob, the Israelites are the beginning of it that follow it, through Yahushai, who they normally call Jesus Christ and Jesus Christus, which his real name is Yahushai in the Hebrew. Okay? He's the one that's going to take down this system. Okay? Now, go back to that beginning with the Idumeans.
Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. Therefore thus saith the Lord, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumeans.
So the Lord is mad. He said, in the fire of my jealousy, I spoke against the people. Right? And all Idumean, it mentions Idumean, Edom, right? Go ahead, speaks like.
Which have appointed my land unto their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds, to cast it out.
So who appointed my land into their possession, meaning they took the Lord's land into their possession.
Okay.
That's why they're in the land.
Alright, so they are the invaders of the land of the Lord. Edomites? Okay, so what they do not belong to the Lord.
Exactly. They belong really to the Edomites. Okay, that we're reading. That's why they run everything.
Alright, and in the sorry, I'm a bit slow with my
No worries, brother. We're here for you. We're here for you.
in the scheme of things,
Yeah.
what happens to these Edomites and to these
Brother, everyone should know Numbers in 23rd chapter. We're going to show you right now. That's a great question. All right? That's a great question. All right? But before we get to that, I just want to finish up this point. Okay? We're going to get two more scriptures to finish this point real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then we're going to get to what you just asked. Get me
You didn't say it.
Daniel chapter 2
Yeah.
and verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his
Now, the
feet.
image is the head of gold. I don't know if you heard about the head of gold, the breastplate of silver. That's the image that Nebuchadnezzar saw. Okay, and that represents the different rulerships, the different heathen rulers, the other nations, going back all the way to the Babylonians. Okay, so it said the head of gold, and it has the breast of silver, which is what you would call it, the Persians and Medes. Okay, and then you had the brass, which were the Greeks, and then you had the iron, which was the Romans.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they symbolize the big empires of
Exactly. So this is what he's speaking about, that image. All right? And now we're at the part of the toes. Okay, this is the revival of the Roman Empire. Okay, which is the Edomites are ruling again. They were ruling back then, they're ruling again.
So the new Roman Empire here is what Israel and Egypt.
They're part of it, but also NATO and the EU. Okay, yeah, because they control all of those people on the low. Okay, because you have America's the head of it, but who controls America? You see what I'm saying? It's them. You see what I'm saying? So they're all part of that. So it's really, you could say NATO and the EU, they're part of that system. Okay? Go ahead.
Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet.
Right, the stone which was cut out without hands is the Lord, represents the Lord, Yahushua. He was cut out without, he's the one that's going to smite the image on his feet, take down this empire. Go ahead.
That were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away.
And that's it, meaning what those empires are going to destroy. Go ahead.
That no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
That represents the government of the Israelites under Yahushua our Lord. Okay?
The government is
The mountain,
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
That's why they have summit meetings. What is the summit?
Oh yeah, the top of the mountain.
There we go. He's a smart brother. Okay, the top of the mountain. Okay, that's what it means. All right, go ahead. Okay, that's it on that. Beautiful. Okay, Isaiah 63.
Isaiah 63 and 1.
Yeah.
Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garment from Basra?
Okay, now he's saying, who is this coming from Edom, from the land, which represents him coming for the Edomites, coming up against the Edomites.
Yeah. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Who is this that's coming from Edom? This is speaking about the Lord now. Because when he comes back, in other words, he's coming for the Edomites. Doesn't mean he's coming out of the land of Edom. It means he's coming for the Edomites. All right?
To pick them up.
We're going to show you. No, not to pick them up. They ain't coming to get picked up. No. Go ahead. That's the last
Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garment from Basra?
Yeah.
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Yeah.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
Why are you red? Why does their apparel look red? Why does it look, because at first it said it looked stained. Why does it look red? Go ahead.
And thy garment like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Right, as if you were stomping on grapes. Go ahead.
I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
Yeah.
For I will tread them in mine anger.
I will tread them in my anger. So the one ring represents the people, which is what the Edomites. That's why I mentioned Edom at the beginning. Go ahead.
And trample them in my fury.
Yeah.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment,
Right.
and will stain all my raiment.
Right. It will stain. Right. So this is what it represents. Go ahead. A little bit more.
For the,
Sorry,
Yeah,
can
right.
you tell me which verse is that?
Isaiah 63, from 1 to
King
6.
James, right?
Yeah, King James.
King James. Right. Well, you can use any, but actually, you know what? It's better to stick with the King James because sometimes it translates to different languages.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the Spanish, I don't know. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, Isaiah 63, verse 1. Isaiah 63, verse 1. 63, from 1 to 6.
We're gonna have to give you a paper too because you're gonna need to be taught too because there's certain things you have to watch out for. Even because a lot of our elders, like certain elders that raised me, like Elder Orion, like he's a so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Latino, right? And he always says the Spanish Bible goes off on certain things, so you have to go back to the Hebrew because it's different. Okay? That's why you have to go to the Hebrew and check things out. All right, go ahead.
Verse 4, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart.
Right, so the day of vengeance, the Lord is waiting. They're angry. He's waiting for the day of vengeance. Remember, they just finished putting him up on the cross 2,000 years ago, right? They spit in his face, they beat him, right? He was given up to the Romans. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why he said, dogs can pass me about. You understand? So guess what? When he comes back, he's coming back angry.
And this,
All right. Say it again.
When does he come back?
Oh, well, he's coming back real soon because we see the signs. We're like even when you go to second, we'll show you the signs in a second. We're gonna deal with one point at a time. We'll show you why we know he's coming back real soon. Like it's gonna be in our lifetime. I mean, it's so close we can taste it. All right, and it's gonna give these people a big surprise. Go ahead.
And I looked, and there was none to help.
Yeah.
And I wondered that there was none to oppose. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me.
Yeah.
And my fury, it upheld me. And I tread down the people in mine anger, and made them drunk in my fury.
That's it. That's it on that. That's it on that. You got a precept here and everything. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 19 and verse 12. His eyes rise a flame of
What was
fire.
the second? Another question you asked? That's another question before that. What's that other question you don't remember? He asked a question about something.
Oh yeah, but I mean, is the Lord coming?
No, but there's
When does he come back?
no, there was something before that you asked. But no, I think we're answering that now. Something else. Go ahead.
His eyes rise a flame of fire.
Not the Edomites.
Possibly. What we that was answered. That was answered. Anyways, keep going.
His eyes rise a flame of fire. And on his head were many crowns.
Why is the Lord's hand going to be many crowns? That represents him taking out all these nations that are in leadership, starting with the Edomites, because they're the head people in leadership. They're our top enemies. Okay, you see what they did to the Mexicans. You see what you know what Mexican history done? All right, they desecrated Mexico. Right?
Well, that was the Spanish.
Yeah, which are the Edomites. Those are the Edomites. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so just to be clear, right?
Yeah.
The Europeans
So-called. Yeah.
are the Edomites.
Exactly. The so-called Europeans and the so-called Jews are the Edomites.
Alright.
All right, for the most part. I'm talking about so-called Europeans. For the most part, those are Edomites. Not everyone that looks like a so-called European is an Edomite, right? Because you have a lot of our so-called Latino brothers that look like Edomites. You see, because of the mixing. But it all goes through the seed of your father, right? And now we don't have a lineage list. Okay, as far as this. No. So what is it? Exactly. So it's through the spirit. So we can see our people have particular characteristics. Our people are known to be able to cook well, right? To season our food, right? To dance, do about chaka, whatever. Huh? You understand? Right? That's what we're known for. We have a particular characteristic. The Lord made us that.
Alright. A bit of a parenthesis. Sorry. What happened with the Asians?
Those are well, anyways, those are Moabites. Those are Moabites. They descend from Moab. The people of Moab. Okay? That's a nation, right? These are the different nations that the Lord created.
So let's
See, there's a lot. You see?
Yeah, I just took a picture of this.
right? But they don't know who they are today, right? But so as you can see, so-called Chinese, I don't know if it's out there. Yeah, right. They're Moab, all right?
Yeah.
So they go back to the Moabites, right? Everyone on the earth you see, they all have biblical nationalities. They have a father figure. You see, the Edomites came into power. They came to seize the whole world. That's why people are saying that. Give me Revelation 20. Give me Revelation 20. Read it out.
Listen, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand, and laid hold on the dragon.
Now the bottomless pit represents Europe. Okay, that's the bottomless pit for the lack of natural resources. And every land is going to be it. All right. Like when the scripture says that the Lord picked the chosen one, and we're speaking about Jerusalem.
Yeah, show me that in a passage, all of that America has resources, but they get punished after the Edomites.
Right. That's it. Right? Because another thing, they lack natural resources, right?
Right.
What?
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
Now this is not an actual, because when people read this and think of the devil, some big dragon breathing fire. No, this is an actual people. Okay? Listen, even going back to the garden, it wasn't a serpent that spoke to Eve and gave her an apple to eat. No, it was a man that gave her wicked philosophies that the Lord told him not to do. All right? Most likely it was going into witchcraft and things like that, because they were living good. All right? They were in the garden. The land was plenteous. They didn't even have to work. Nobody had to work. Things were just produced food naturally. You see what I'm saying? So it was paradise. But when they did that sin, which was all part of the story anyway, all part of the story's sake, okay? So they did that, and now all that fell because they listened to that particular man. Now that man is in root, his spirit, because spirit, every spirit is reincarnated. You were here before, okay? Many times. Just like you were here many times. Okay, that's why people have something called deja vu. Now that serpent, that spirit, went into Cain, all right? Meaning he had a,
The Cain to Abel.
it went to Cain, and Abel was of the righteous. And Cain killed Abel, that's what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cain killed Abel, right? Cain killed Abel because he was of that, he had a similar spirit to the serpent. Now, the spirit of the serpent, that wicked spirit, which was in him and Cain, that went into the Edomites.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's why now you see what's happening, what they do.
Yeah, so the righteous come from the sons of Abel,
Exactly.
the Edomites.
Sons of Seth. Seth. Ultimately, actually, let me rephrase that, because you know why? Because in the flood, right, there was 3 people, so they see even deeper than Shem. It goes back to Israel, right? Because everyone that's on the earth now, they all descend from Adam. Everyone on the earth now.
Yeah.
Why? Because there was a flood that came and destroyed the wickedness. And then what? What happened? Through those 3 sons, right, and their 3 wives, they populated the earth. And what happened was those different spirits of those different nations went into wherever they needed to be. Okay, to create the nations. You understand what I mean? Like the spirit of the Elamites went to the Elamites. The spirit of the Moabites went to the Moabites. The spirit of the Edomites went to the Edomites. The Israelites, which are the sons of God, which know where to come back. See, you don't want to get into, you don't want to get it too deep, because I want to give you piece by piece.
You know, and also it's a bit hard to follow because the pronunciation of certain biblical names in Spanish, I'm not very familiar to them.
Right.
Adán, Eva, Abel.
Which is, this brother can tell you, say what you mean if you say this.
Yeah.
Right, so ultimately, it's all good, brother. It's all, no problem with that. All right? So read that.
And laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, hold on. When it says it bound him 1,000 years, that means what? Right now, us as a people, us the Israelites, all 12 tribes, we have a bound upon us. We have a chain upon us. Okay? Which is spiritual. All right? Meaning what? We can't get up to that Edomite level. We can't get up to a certain level of society. Okay? Because we have that spiritual chain on us. Some people don't get that. All right? We won't put the chain. But back.
What about the, for example, the Mexicans become very successful?
Well, sometimes you have certain of our people that are successful. Certain of our people in pockets that get in here. But as a whole, how's Mexico doing?
Pretty bad.
Right. And then you got certain leaders in those countries. A lot of times the leaders in the so-called Latin countries are really Edomites that might have had a so-called Mexican mother.
Yeah.
But they know that. The Edomites know, listen, okay, now he's one of us. All right? So we'll put him up, but he might look like a so-called Mexican. You understand?
Yeah.
But really his spirit is that of the Edomites. Remember, even though there was particular wars where the mestizos and different, they got different benefits than the indigenous, right? And the so-called people that was amongst them. You got a lot of Negroes who were children, their brethren, they didn't okay? So this is what happened, right? So they made a separation. They said, no, they're going to get a benefit, but they can't get it. They're not getting no benefit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even though there is some of our people that get up, but either way they still got that chain on. They can't. There's a. Didn't Kanye say he was in a glass? He had a glass wall around him.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Now he lost this deal, he lost that, he can't go on this, he can't go on that. Right? Because who controls him? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit,
Right.
and shut him up, and set a seal upon him.
And now, hold on. Now the reason why was because they were not ruling it. See, they'll show you Shakespeare was white. Everyone was white in history. Everyone was a white guy. Right? But no. Okay, going back to Europe, they were all black men that were ruling, man. All right? Shakespeare, Mozart, any Othello. Of course, brother. All right? Somebody like even Casanova. He was known. They said his friends described him as having African tint. See, these are.
Yeah, there was a theory that, there was a couple of emperors, actually, Roman emperors.
Oh, yes. That's right. There was 5 of them. There was 5? Right? It was 5 of them. All right? They're known as the 5 good emperors.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
season.
Marcus Aurelius.
Right. Those were all so-called black, all Israelites. All the Edomites were all wicked. From Julius, all of them. They're all wicked. All right? See, our people don't get it. It's a spirit essence. You can't change the spirit. The scripture says who can make something that's crooked straight. All right? You see, there's hope for you. Because you're an Israelite. There was hope for us because we're Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? But an Edomite, there's no hope for you. Okay? And even for these other nations, there's no hope for them because they don't have a tie to us. Okay? But ultimately, it's better to be of those nations than look at the Edomites.
Continuing on, and he cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
No, they shut the seal, right? So this is going back to those good emperors, because that's when they went down, right? The Western Roman Empire went down where the Edomites ruled, and then the Eastern European Empire, the so-called Black rule, that came up. And that's what the beginning. Say it again.
The Eastern Roman Empire.
Right. Roman Empire, right? That came up, right? And then the West went down. So that was the beginning of the downfall of the Edomites. You see what I'm saying? So then what? They were shut up for 1,000 years. So about 1,000 years, about 300 to about 1,300, we were ruling. All those, everything you hear, every history you hear, that's our. What were they doing? They were in the caves.
What about,
they were in the wilderness.
What about Alexander the Great?
He was an Edomite. And he's prophesied in the Bible. And you know that he came to one of our priests, the Levite priests, and they told him, listen, you're going to conquer all of this. Yeah. Okay? And that's why he gave our people some type of favor, because the Lord put the Spirit on him. Because he saw the priest in the dream.
I don't get it. Like, what's the point of the Lord to give so much for Edified when chosen people is?
That proves you're Israel. Isn't that proof he's an Israelite? They want to get that in Ezra. Get that with your people that know that. You know that. That's my goodness.
This is the book of Second Ezra
People don't
chapter.
even know they be spoke things that's in the Bible that our forefathers asked.
Have not the law.
Right.
This is Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Y'all come from Adam, all these nations, go ahead.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And also us, the chosen people. Now there's a separation. Go ahead.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
Because he made the world for whose sake? 12 tribes. Listen, brother, the reason why you got trees here, the trees, we weren't put here for the trees. The trees were put here for us. The land was put here for us. But guess what? The wicked, they came and stole from us. What do you think the Lord's going to do that? If someone takes a piece of your son, let's say you have a son, right? Maybe your little brother, someone you care about, your little sister, whatever, I don't know. They beat her up or whatever, they kick her, and they do all type of manner of evil to her. Are you not going to want payback and justice for that? Absolutely. All right? And the same thing with the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
Right.
thou hast said that they are nothing,
He said, all the other nations, they are nothing. Go ahead.
but be like unto spittle,
Right.
and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Right. And then liken the abundance of them as nothing. If you got a big bucket of water and a drop falls, do you care about the drop? No, you're focused on the big bucket of water. That's how he looks at those other nations compared to us.
All right.
Go ahead.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us,
So those heathen that you don't even care about are lords over us. Go ahead.
and to devour us.
And came to them and started to devour us. Was not Mexico devoured? Was not Colombia devoured? Was not Puerto Rico devoured? It's still devoured. Of course, they set up them cartels. Listen, brother, when you look behind all that shit, Esau's behind it. The devil is behind it. Okay? When you take a good deep look, he's behind that. Even the gangs, the little Crips and Bloods, he's behind that. Brother, you have to understand this. This is a big plot to destroy our people, man. You understand? Go ahead, man.
But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten,
Right.
and thy fervent lover,
That's right.
are given into their hands.
We're giving it into their hands.
If the world now be made for our sakes,
Right.
why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
That's what you just asked. Okay? Why don't we have, if we're the chosen people, why don't we have a place in this world? Why don't we have a high level in this world? Okay? Go ahead.
How long shall this endure?
Right. You got something for that? You got something real quick? Okay, jump
The
on.
book of Romans chapter 9 and 17. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee.
So the reason why the Lord raised up the Edomites to such a level with all the technology is so he can show his power. Okay? Because this deliverance is going to be way far greater than when we were delivered in Egypt.
Oh yeah, so there's no epic journey without a dragon, right?
Right.
Something like that.
That's it. That's it. That's interesting. That's it. Okay. The word theater. The word theater goes back to God. The word theo is in theater. It goes back to God. Okay. So this is the Heavenly Father's movie right here. All right, and he made it very entertaining. All right, where the underdogs seem like they're not going to get up. That last minute, that superhero is going to pop up. Yahweh Shai is going to pop up with deliverance. Ah, you see what I'm saying? You see it now, what?
For this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
What's that going to do? It's going to make the Lord, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, his name famous throughout the whole earth. You see what I'm saying? Famous throughout the whole earth. Okay? Right now it's not famous. Right now they look down on that. Even the idea of God is looked down upon in the society. Go to a college and say you believe in God. Go to a university and believe in God. Well, technically, when you look at the scientific proof, the Big Bang, and that is the stupidest theory on earth.
I like to learn, you know, I'm not really that religious, but when people go like, yo, this is if it's not backed by scientific data,
Right.
it's not.
Right. But how was the Big Bang backed by scientific? You say, oh, it was matter came to where did the matter come from? They did this. Okay, that's enough questions. You see, even that takes faith. Everything you believe in takes faith.
Yeah.
For you to read a book, say you have to have faith in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay? Unless you want to dig it up yourself and say, oh yeah. No, it all takes faith. What?
Therefore
But this is the right thing. Go ahead.
Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth.
Right. So
Thou,
the Lord's gonna have mercy on you.
thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who has resisted his
Well,
will?
that's another question people like to ask. So if he controls everybody, he made them wicked. So why does he find fault in them? All right? Because who resisted what he wants them to do? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, can you say
You know,
that?
it's basically, right? Because the Lord controls everything. Everything is controlled by the Lord. The Lord made people wicked, made them righteous. Right?
Small parenthesis, what happens with free will?
Free will? Okay, well, really, there's no such thing as that. If you got something, you bring that up.
Yeah, that's okay, I just wanted to.
Okay, there's no such thing as free will. Everyone is controlled by the Heavenly Father.
Alright, so, control?
Say that, what you say?
Yeah, everyone has control. Keep going.
Yeah. So, huh? No, it's okay. You say no. So ultimately, everyone is controlled by the Heavenly Father. This is all his movie. We're all characters. Like the director tells us to play this one, play that one. Subconsciously, everyone was told their rules. Go ahead.
It says, nay, but O man, Who art thou that replies against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
Right. So if you create something, can your creation jump up and say, why you make me like this? No. All right? You have power over it, right?
Hath not the potter power over the clay
That's it.
of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Right, so that's it. So it's in his will to make one vessel unto honor, one vessel unto dishonor. Now give me Proverbs 16.
What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
Because he's mad too. He's looking at all this wickedness going on, all this witchcraft, all this crap going on in the earth, and he's mad too. All these lies being pushed out. All right, the adultery, everything that you see right now is going against. It's nothing but rebellion against the Heavenly Father. That's all they're pushing. Okay, I don't know if you know of a guy named Yuval Noah. All right, Yuval Noah. Well, anyways, he's one of those. He rubs shoulders with the elites. And he's all about the NWO. He speaks about we don't need to believe in a God no more. We don't need to be fear of God no more because we can control the brain. We can do this. That's great pride. You see? So the Lord is allowing them to build themselves up to a certain level, which we're at the peak right now, where He's going to come and take them down at once. You see? Right.
And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy which he had afore prepared unto glory.
The ones that believe on him, the ones that do his will, those are the ones that are going to be delivered. Even in the time of trouble, because there's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, a time of trouble. Right? Where it's going to be out here, you're not going to see these cars of people walking around drinking smoothies. No, now we're coming to a very close time. Soon you're not going to see anything in those buildings. You understand? So the supply chain is being broken as we speak. And that's all by the will of Yahweh. But eventually, it's going to be cannibalism. Eventually, people are going to be killing one another. All right? Kicking in doors, looking for food. All right? You see? Go ahead, bro.
This is Proverbs 16 and verse 4.
Yeah.
The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
He made everything for himself, even the wicked people for the day of evil, to play out their role. Because in order to have the day of evil, you need the wicked.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So like you said, every good story needs a dragon. That's it. He's that dragon. But the thing is this, even amongst our people, just because you're an Israelite doesn't mean you're going to be delivered on this side. You have to be an Israel of God. Meaning you have to turn. See, when that guy was talking, you got circumcised the heart. Yeah, you got to be an Israelite first. And then you got to be a circumcised in the heart Israelite. Meaning you got to be doing the right thing according to Yahweh. Not in word. Give me that. You do it for word. You can't just do it, it's not direct to you, saying in general, our people. We can't be just doing say that we believe. There are people like to say they believe, but then they don't do anything that the Bible says. It's pure hypocrisy. All the pastors, the preachers, pure hypocrisy. Anything I tell you to do, listen. Anything I tell you to do, I'm doing it. Okay? I'm not willing to do something that I'm telling you not to do. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead. Or I'm willing to do it. If I was in that position, I would do it. So on and so forth. Go ahead.
James 1 and verse 22.
Yeah.
Be ye doers of the word, not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
You're only deceiving yourself. Because the scriptures even says, not everyone that calls the Lord shall be delivered. Because some people are going to be surprised. Oh, Lord, I believe. I wash people in the blood of Christ or whatever. All right? And he's gonna send a laser beam from the chariot, from the so-called UFOs, because those are the chariots of God. So when you see those UFO sightings,
Cherries?
you ever heard about the lights in the sky?
Yeah.
They're actually UFOs. Mexico has a lot of those.
Yeah.
Okay? These are actually the chariots of God spoken about in Zechariah and Ezekiel. Okay? Spoken of those lights in the sky. This is all, everything that you see on the earth, it's all in the Bible. The Lord already had everything written. He used many steps ahead. You see? So, like I said, we have to be doers of the word. Because the Lord he has loving tender kindness to the ones that believe on him, but he's also very vengeful, he's very jealous, he gets angry. So we gotta deal with it correctly.
Is there a central place or site your brother here showed me a couple of YouTube channels?
We're gonna give you a paper. Right? We're gonna give you a paper with
this is very interesting. I really enjoy learning this.
no problem. Give him a paper. Right? We're going to give you a paper, and all those things have the list of different chapters. Even our teachers, our apostles, and others.
Thank you so much.
No problem, brother. No problem. Like, you're an Israelite, bro. You're a brother, man. You know?
And the pastor right here, the bearded guy, what makes you this Ryan Raven?
Well, he gets demons up, bro. Because you have to understand, all these people got their spirits that we can't see. You know, and he's coming up against us because of what we teaching that we're the Israelites. You know, bro.
Well, I mean, what was he saying? Like that you were blasphemous?
He was saying about 150 different. He accused us. As soon as he came up, he started accusing. We didn't even get a chance to really speak much.
Yeah.
As soon as he came out, no, this and that, okay, let us show you what we. No. Every time we would start to get to a point, he would right? Because that's the demons in it. They don't want the truth coming out. Okay, you have to understand. Satan doesn't want this. This truth this is a spiritual battle we're in. Okay, Satan, the spiritual demons, Satan, he deals with the Edomites, but he also deals with other people, including our own people that are wicked. Okay, so guess what? You have to keep your mind open and say, okay, there might be a demon on this person, and not get carnal. You know?
Well, listen.
Hey, brother. Hey, I'll tell you this, man. This is the truth. Okay, and Yahweh Shai sent you here for a reason. All right, there's two reasons people get sent up here. It's either to get sealed for salvation or sealed for judgment. So you make the decision, but you have everything. The ball is in your court, so to speak. All right? You know what I'm saying, brother? Oh, you got a preach something?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, brother. He had something. This is emergency. Emergency? Bring it on now.
Ecclesiastes 6:33. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
That's why he couldn't get it, because he didn't want to hear. You understand? Right. See how much you learn a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
You learn some things, right? He couldn't learn anything, right? Even though we said he didn't know, he wasn't ready to see because he didn't love to hear. That's a lost place.
Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
That's it. That's exactly it. All right. So like I told you, this is the way. Right?
Mark 4:14. The sower soweth.
We'll leave it with this last one.
Yeah.
Mark 4:14. The sower soweth the word. And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
Right, because you had a lot of people coming up when that guy was here, right? A lot of people. But guess what? That was Satan taking the word out of their mind. So when the seed was starting to be planted, Satan plucked that up right away. That was the parable the Lord was speaking. See, you got a seed is planted. But now we'll see what happens with the seed.
Yeah.
No? You got to show one, brother. Show one, You got to learn our ancient language, brother.
Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts.
Well, that dude that came in, that was a major stuff. And there's nothing you could do. Ain't nobody could convert. You know, there's not people that were trying to convert. You cannot change the dude's mind. I'm not going to go. That's like them fresh and kids dudes. You're trying to convince hoes that want to be hoes. It's not going to work. You know what I mean?
That was Canadian vocab Malone, right?
Huh? Well, you know, it's spiritual. It's spiritual because you know what? What I was going to say before, when I was on my way here, I was saying, listen, I got to tell these brothers that there's about to be a lot more scoffers coming. There's going to be a lot of, give me that, kindle a great multitude. A lot of people's about to come up against this word, man.
That's right.
Demonization is about to ramp up.
That's right, that's right.
Right? You see that whole thing? I just did a video earlier dealing with the banners that they were showing up on the highway. That's not no coincidence. You understand what I'm saying? That's all for the setup. That's all for the setup. Okay? So Kanye was sent for what? To tie us to Edomite supremacy, right?
That's right.
To tie us to these different things.
That's right.
That's why the first thing came out, that's about hate. It's about hatred and violence.
That's right, it's true.
We didn't feel violence on them. If anything, people come up in our face, right? Right? If we were so violent, would we let that guy be talking like that?
That's right.
That came all up over here, wouldn't be like, bop, 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 when we give him the work?
That's right.
If we're so violent? Huh? Go ahead, bring it on.
2 Ezra 16 and verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you.
Right, the burning, that's going to be these people, man. Right, everywhere you turn, there's going to be a lot of hatred, right? Right, a lot of people angry at you for the doctrine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come out here, expect more people, man, to jump up and this and that. And I was going to say that. Before I could even say that, the demon met me here. You know what I mean? And then, the demon met me at the camp. All right? You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, read that again.
For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
That's it, because what? You're going to put it to prison. Get me that. They're complaining about this word, right? All right? That's
John 16 and verse 2, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service.
Which that's really at that time. That's not really for this time. All right. Although they are going to be doing certain things, but that has nothing to do with this time. Let's deal with the one where it says that shall be hated of all men.
This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the noble.
And that's what we're doing. We're shaking their hands, and that's going to lead them to go and complain about which it already is leading them. They're already trying to tie us to this and that. You understand? They're setting up the narrative. You got to see. You got to be a spiritual watchman. You got to see these things, man. You can't just be see Kanye, oh, this is great. No, this is a setup here too.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
it's pushing out the word, but it's a setup as well.
It's a setup, yeah.
And you got to really watch that, man. This devil is crafty, man. Not get that in
Yeah, it's true. He was there right on time. Huh? He was right on time waiting.
Go ahead. What you got? Okay, go ahead. Read on.
Hebrews 12 and 4. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
Right, so there's going to be a time where it's going to be like resisting to blood. They're going to be looking for us, right? Just based upon what we're teaching, right? Okay? Because they're doing what? They're doing away with this free speech. And the main target is who? Is us, right? The Hebrew Israelites, right? See, they're putting all these other things, this is all noise. You know, the Edomite supremacy, that's all noise. Remember, they had a bill there, the FBI had a bill dealing with black identity extremists. And then a woman, the Jake woman, she went, wait a minute, what about Edomite identity? No? What about the white people? You see what I'm saying? But that's not their target. Oh yeah, we got a bill working on that too. No, they wasn't working on that. They're not concerned with that. They're concerned with the Israelite movement. They're concerned with the Israelites waking up. See, because this is the best kept secret, right? That we are the sons of God. That's the best kept secret. Because they've been living on that lie for so long, and benefited from that lie for so long, that this is the main threat to them. Right? You got something else? Go ahead.
So just jump to the point. Revelation 13 and 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given unto him over all the kindreds and tongues and nations.
That's it. All right. Esau's get ready to make war with the remnant of the seed.
It's the book of Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai.
That's what they're getting ready to do. So brothers got to keep it in their mind, right? Forget about BS, man. All right? Brothers better start breaking down that old man and building that new man, man. Because if you don't, then guess what? You're not going to be ready in that time. Okay? You got to be ready in that time. All right? So we got to put away petty BS that's, the emotions or whatever. We got to actually be the new man. This is what it's all about, man. Brothers is in position. We're not trying to, we're here to watch for your soul, as the scripture says. Right. The Lord put a spirit in certain men to watch over other brothers' souls. And we take that very seriously, man. You understand what I'm saying? So these things, it must be done, man. You know, because listen, if you're in that time and you ain't ready in that time, the Lord is not sitting there to try to dump some oil on you. No. You got to get the oil before.
That's right.
Go ahead.
1 Peter 1:10. Wherefore, rather, brethren, give diligence to making your calling and election sure.
Right.
For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
Right, you got to give diligence, you know. But then they'll say, okay, give diligence, but you got to give diligence. You got to build right too, because the scriptures speak about building with untempered mortar. You understand? It's just like if you do a work, a job, a construction job, and they ask you to build a tower, and you build them a castle. What the hell is this? I'm not paying you for this. You got to build the right thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about just diligence, it's about also doing the right thing in the right way, you know. So, brother, we got to be in that mindset that these things are coming, man. These different, you know, these persecutions, man. Okay. So like, oh, okay. Go ahead. Read that. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11 in the NLT, and it reads, "So that Satan will not outsmart us." Hold on. Satan will not outsmart us. See, he got so much. He's coming with so many angles. All right, he's coming with so many angles, man. So you got to be on your P's and Q's, man. A lot of deception, man. They said if be at all possible, they might deceive the very elect. See, they're coming with false messiahs now, right? If Amalekites say, "Oh, we found him, Moshe, we found him," because you can remember. What the hell is that? You see what I'm saying?
You wear glasses.
Yeah, well, I mean, what? So that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. We are familiar with his evil schemes. We know how these Edomites operate, man. You got to know your enemy, man. You can't just be walking around like you don't know what the hell is going on. See, that's how the majority of Israelites are walking around. So the majority of Jacob's walking around. Like they don't know how Esau operates. That's right. You know, you go get carnal with a guy. You don't know Esau's going to use it. No vocab's going to pop up with a video. You didn't figure that out yet? Of course vocab's going to pop up with a video. That's what he set up to do. Go ahead.
Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make no haste in time of trouble.
That's it. You gotta set your mind right, and you gotta remember we're in the right. We're doing the right thing. We're serving Yahweh by Yahweh. We are doing the right thing. They're in the wrong.
That's right.
That guy, all of a sudden, he was in the wrong, bro. We knew that. That's why he was acting like he was acting. Because he couldn't deal with us with the word. Yeah. All right? So he had to get like that. That's how they're going to get. But guess what, brothers? You can't get emotional. You have to keep under your body, man. Yeah. Keep under your body, man. You think deep down inside, something didn't want to get carnal deep down inside?
Yeah.
But that's that flesh.
I admit it.
That's that flesh. You know, that's that flesh. See, but that's it. You just gotta just let it slide.
Yeah, that's right.
Let it slide. You know. So then I was like, oh, this guy, see, because he's losing. That's why you gotta do that. Satan's losing. That's why he has to do all that.
That's right.
If he was winning, he wouldn't. Why would you just see these guys are stupid? Look at the doctrine, and then you'll just bring out scriptures.
Yeah.
Okay, no, go ahead. No, you go. No, you go. You right? Even to the point that guy was asking for a paper with us, but I almost didn't want to give him a paper. Right? He was playing Two-Face.
Two-Face, yeah.
I almost didn't want to give him shit. All right? Go ahead, man. Oh, Salakia, go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Corinthians 9:27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway.
That's it. Okay? You don't want to be preaching, but you be preaching the right thing. But if you ain't doing the right thing, does it matter? No. Okay, that's why you have to keep under your body and deal with temperance, man. What is temperance? Self-control. You gotta have that self-control, man. You have to control yourself. You know, control your spirit. You know, it says that he that's able to rule his spirit is mightier than him that is in the city. He said, now you ain't showing those. See, he was coming with every angle, man. He said, what do these people want? What do these bitches want from me? That's up there to get that GMS spirit, man. Right? Give me that something back here. You can't please these people, man. All right? It don't matter. We could have been sitting in the lotus position, man. We could have been sitting in the lotus position, you know, giving out, passing out food and candy, right? And it still wouldn't be good. Nah, that's deception. See, they're giving that's deception. That's candy filled with hate. Right? There's a sandwich of hate. Go ahead.
St. Matthew 11 and 18, for John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say, he hath the devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibber.
What is the Lord saying? He's saying no matter how you come to these people, they're going to have a problem with you. It doesn't matter. That's why I said last time, what was it? Last time I said what? It's impossible for us to look good out here. Don't try to look good. You got these other IUIC, they're trying to look good. That ain't going to stop. If you're preaching full truth, that's not going to happen. You're always going to be looked at as a problem. Say, oh, doesn't it say they hate him that rebuked the gates? Right? So embrace that. Because that shows that Yahushua is with you, man. When these people are against you, that shows Yahushua is with you. And it's the spirit, because I was literally just about to say, though, I said when I get to camp, I'm going to tell show brothers in the spirit that it's about to ramp up. People are about to come to the camp more often. There's about to be more accusations, you know, hate, whatever. But you see what happened, though, right? Out of all that smoke, you got a guy here, one Jake there, right? This is correct with a Baphomet shirt. He might not even.
A Baphomet shirt?
He might not even. But it don't matter. But hold on. By the end of the day, we all worship the sin with unknowing. You know what I'm trying to say to you? We all left unknowing. But guess what? When you hear the word, it's a lot. When you hear the word, you get cleansed. That's right. See, because they're thinking of the scriptures in the form of how Esau paints the scriptures. And this is hypocrisy. Right? What?
It says,
what do you got?
I have
I'm not listening.
2 Corinthians 36 and 15.
Dealing with what? Okay, go ahead.
verse 19, St. Matthew 11 and 19, the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibber, the friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her.
Right, but the truth is going to be justified in this. You see what I'm saying? He said, Paul said, though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge.
That's right.
You can't deny it. That's why the Lord said, what? I shall give them a mouth that they should not be able to gainsay nor resist. So all they can do is, but you don't mean that. You don't mean that to me. I seen that so much, guys. It doesn't. I'm numb to that, bro. I mean, you brothers might feel away like dude, I'm so numb to that, bro. I just like to cancel that out, man. But you do kind of feel away, but then it's like, yo, they're gonna take an L. We know at the end they're gonna take an L. So the best thing to do is what? Outclass them. Outclass them with the scriptures, right? So he gets caught, and that's why even the girl came up. Chill. He almost said, shut up, bitch. He almost got that. He had to go into the spirit. Yup, he almost got that spirit. He almost got that Bishop Don Juan spirit. Like I don't know if you watch the Dave Chappelle one with the vampire. Anyway, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Sorry, you got that?
Go ahead. Second Chronicle 36 and 15. And the Lord power of their fathers sent unto them by his messengers, rising up betime and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and despised his words, and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy.
Right. Whether they do it on the common board or whether they do it here, it's the same thing. All right? It's the same thing. Okay? They're misusing the prophets, you know? They're coming up against the name of the Lord. All right? More? Okay.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 70. But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
That's it. All right? So you're going to see that all around, man. All right? They're going to be trying to come against us, man. All right? Not for anything that we did, you know, but for the truth. You know? Give me that for the deeds were evil. And that's why the scripture says, suffer not as an evildoer.
All right, give me that for what that is. All right? We're supposed to suffer for this truth.
This is 1 Corinthians 4 and verse 11. And unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst, and are naked and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place, and labor working with our own hands. Being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer.
That's it. The persecuted, we suffer. We have to suffer. We got to deal with it. We got to have patience, man. Right? See? Even certain things come in the truth, you gotta, if you're a spiritual person, you have to suffer things that happen in the truth too. Alright? You have to suffer. Meaning what? To have patience. Right?
Being defamed, we entreat.
Being defamed, we entreat. Were we not being defamed? Was he not saying we're this, we're haters? What he calls everybody? You know? Racist, haters, liars. You know? So wait till that narrative of the whole dealing with the having the power of you gotta be prepared for these things, man. People put it out here, you're this and this, the sun is setting, this and that. You gotta be willing to, you gotta prepare for that now. Don't be caught off guard like, oh shoot, I didn't got to sign up for this. Prepare for that in the spirit now. Know that that's what comes with it. Right? Because what the servant is not greater than the master. Well, bring it on out.
It's the book of St. John, chapter 15, and beginning at verse 18. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love its own. But because ye are
and
not
he's of the world, that's why the majority was silent. Even when he ain't saying nothing. But and it's vexing in the spirit. But because you know why? Because I remember I used to have this part on Dragon Ball Z, I don't know about that. But there was a guy named Hercule. Right? When I was coming up with this guy named Hercule. And that nigga was just taking the credit for everything. Right? But it was the Saiyans that was the defeating enemy and you know, but then he'll pop up, he'll be hiding behind a rock, and then he'll pop up from behind the rock.
Take the credit.
And I'll say, oh, it's Hercule who did it. You see what I'm saying? But then he'll be talking against the ones who are actually doing it.
Oh,
I'm talking proudly against them. But he was nothing but a wrestler. And even as a child, I was hated that. But as you can see now, spiritually, we have to go through that. Are not our elders and apostles going through that? These guys popping up talking about like Black Ram 313. You popping up, oh no, I follow something. Okay, well, why did you well not just him. Well I'll say but it's not just right, because he was one of the founders of that whole red pill thing. And we said through the spirit that started from the elders and apostles. You know? Because they were speaking that no one else was speaking that type of stuff before them. Alright? But then that went from their backs, because it was proven that it was Jakes that started that. And then Edomites, as they always do, know they came and tried to take it, but they don't have the flavor, so they don't usually get as far as the Jakes.
That's right.
You know? But the whole point is this, that it started off with the elders and apostles. There's so much information that people push out, it came from the elders and apostles, but guess what? They don't have the integrity to give the credit. Right? Like IUIC, they teach certain things which they don't have the integrity to give the credit to those men which they learned it from the beginning. That takes integrity to do it. You see? And the apostles, they give credit. If someone gets something, oh, this brother said that brother said such and such. Right? Granted, not every time you're going to say that, but for the most part, you're going to say it.
Well, maybe some.
Oh, you want to say something?
Side note, you speak about Hercule. In French, his name is Satan.
Oh yeah.
That's it. So in French, they call him Satan. Hercule.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. That is true. Yeah, I remember. No, that's not the French.
French, Japanese.
French, they call it Satan.
Mr. Satan.
Oh, Mr. Right. That's true. That's true. His name was. Yeah. Showing you that's the spirit of Esau too.
I guess I'm too.
And that's the spirit of these wicked jakes too. All right.
I'm gonna watch it.
If you were of the world would love its own.
If you're of the world, go ahead.
But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you.
That's right.
said, this is why, because we're not of this world. Our doctrine is not, so it doesn't really matter how we come with the doctrine. They know it's not of them, it's not of the world. See? So that's why I'm not dismayed at it. I see what's going on. You know, and I see that guy's a two-headed serpent too. I'm gonna be honest. That guy probably went out holding the paper. Put it in there.
Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord.
The servant is not greater than his Lord. Go ahead.
If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. For all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me.
It's a beautiful thing to get persecuted for the name of Yahweh. You understand? Because you know there's a reward for that. You know Yahweh starts not on one thing to get your works. You see that? It's not us, because that's persecution right there, bro. That's persecution. Slander, all that kind of shit comes up. Like, hey, that's an example of what's coming. And he looked like he wanted to fight, but this was the ancient world, brother. They would have had some stones. This was the ancient world?
Yeah.
Now would have rallied up, he would have had some stones in it.
Yeah, you wanted to call the fire upon them.
Brother,
Boom.
brother, you wanted to put inside?
Yeah, I know.
Trust me.
I know.
That's why the prophets were being put to death. That's someone that? Go ahead.
This is Luke 6 and verse 22. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when men shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For,
Sure.
Call it Satan. Don't call him whatever. Call it Satan. But either way, that's okay. They call our Lord Satan. That's a beautiful thing. See what I'm saying? That's good. Right? To be persecuted for doing the right thing rather than doing the wrong thing. See that? Because if you get persecuted for doing the wrong thing, you're assed out. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's coming to help you with that. Go ahead.
Verse 23, it says, rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets.
Hey, same thing. We're going through it now, we were going through it back then. Right? It's all part of the job, right? Go ahead.
Matthew 10 and 24. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the Lord, the master of the house, Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household?
That's it. Alright, so we take that as a compliment. Right? That's a compliment coming from the tree. That's a compliment. Right? So coming from a man of the Lord, that ain't no compliment. That's a cut of the spirit. Coming from these people. That's a compliment, right? You understand what I'm saying to you? What you got, brother?
Galatians 1 and 10. For do I now persuade men, or the Most High, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be a servant of Hamashiach. But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after men. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Yahushai Hamashiach.
Right, so this is from the spirit. They're so spiritually dead, they can't even perceive that the way we know these things has to be by the spirit. When we can jump into it has to be by the spirit. They can't perceive that. But then there's certain people who can perceive it. Remember the guy who looks like an Edomite that came up one time? You say, yo, this happened to come from the book. Like that could have been written in a book. Notice how God this was happening. No? That's not like one of the precepts. Okay? But you see, then there's, the majority, they're not going to accept it. Right?
Matthew 13 and verse 9. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
but to them it is not given.
Right, it's given unto who? It's given unto us, man. You know? It's given unto the hopeful elect. Lord willing to give that number. Lord willing to continue to the end. Because just because the Lord gave it to you doesn't mean you can't take it away. Okay, so we have to continue unto the end. All right, we have to endure hardness as what? Good soldier, man. It's still a battle right now, man. We don't got time to play games. This is a battle right now. All right? A bullet fires come. Get the fuck out the way, bro. I dare you talking. Bah, 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 bah. That's how spiritual battles operate, brother. That's exactly how spiritual battles operate. It's no different really in the spirit than a real war. You know? Go ahead.
This is 1 Peter 3 and 13. And who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good? But, and if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye.
Right.
And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. But sanctify the Lord Yahweh in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Because, and that's why you can't, certain brothers, man, I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? No, but respect if you don't know what certain brothers have been through for Yahweh. You know? Persecution that certain brothers, you know, that they had them brownie points with Yahweh. You know, certain brothers in different camps, they all got hits thrown on them. You know what I mean? Fucking egg shot for the buildings. Right? BB guns. See that the other day from the brothers in Seattle, man. Punched in the face. Right? Which Paul got punched and they said, what? The Most High smite you. He didn't even touch it. He said, the Most High. He said, you know that dude is stupid. That dude is done. That dude ain't coming into the truth. He ain't repenting. He ain't doing none of that. He's done. Right? So ultimately, that's what it is, man. You know? So that's why when Peter and them, when they were getting locked up for the truth, what did they do? They rejoiced. You see what I'm saying? Why did they rejoice? Because they saw that the reward was coming for that. That's what else is also like I said.
Verse 16, having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you, as of evildoers,
right? And they're bringing up all kind of slander. Get me that you accuse of our brethren, man. They're bringing up all kind of slander, man. All kind of lies against us, man. Yeah, that's okay, man. That's part of the truth, man. That's part of this walk, you know. And how about Yahweh? He's going to justify us at the end of the day, man. He's going to confound them. Go ahead.
They may be ashamed that falsely accuse you. Your good conversation.
Damn. Damn. He said we're this, we're not spirit, this, that. But then why he's displaying that he has no patience? It's okay. And he better chop up that video real nice. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he better slice it real good. Put it only really probably only 2 parts you can find it. Yeah, this is my account. Where's the rest of you? Right. Huh?
Yes, I gave you the counsel of God. What counsel?
That's probably the only part he'll put in. Oh yeah, I gave you the counsel of God.
So,
Go ahead. For it is better, if the will of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua be so, that you suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing.
And this is well-doing. That's why, well, what was going to do? Go ahead.
This is Acts 5, verse 40. And to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahushua and let them go. And they departed from the presence of the council.
Read that again, brother.
God. This is Acts 5 and verse 40. And to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahushua and let them go. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name.
That's what I'm saying. It's about to get hot out here, bro. It's about to get hot out here, bro. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Ultimately, Esau is Jews, man. You understand? But then these people, man, they're the great multitude and kingdom against us, man. Like we done destroyed their mother or something, man. That's how they're gonna come at you. You didn't see the anger that guy? Yeah. So imagine 30 of those, man. There's some of them that. Yeah. Those spirits are back on the earth. Those spirits are most likely, back on the earth. Right? That was it on that?
Revelation 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren,
The accuser, right? When you look at that word accuser, it's what categorize, right? So they're putting us in this category. That's why they're setting all these things that you see to demonize us, right? Because they control the meat, they control everything, all right? But the Lord is going to make them loose. He's going to give them a major help. He's going to give us that. He's going to justify us in the spirit. And you can't be offended at that. You can't be offended at the things coming down the pipe. Them calling your job and shit. Certain elders went through that. Got their business completely destroyed. Those were niggas that did. Those were demons that did that. Those were satanic demons who did that. Right? Who were coming up and they were behind that. The Lord's going to get what was behind that hill. Right? But according to what we know, I'll say, according to what we know, it's proven to be that. Their own person came out and said it. There's a leak. Why would he lie? Whoever was behind that, the Lord got something for it, right? Right? But then now you got Esau Edom coming, the one who really controls the mind of the masses. You understand? So be prepared, man. Yeah, brothers, they got a good family situation. You might not have a family. You see what I'm saying? You got a good little woman out here. You might not, that might be gone. Children might be out of there. They might say, oh no, he's too crazy to be around children. Oh, we're gonna take the children. No, if you're single father, whatever the case may be, or maybe you're co-parent. Nah, he's too crazy to be around him. He's believing this anti stuff. All this anti stuff. Right? Because what are they doing? They're basically classing that as the worst thing on earth. He needs to get back on his meds, right? But then it's inciting violence. Then it's putting a battery in the Edomite supremacists. It's doing all these things.
for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before the Most High day and night.
That's it. That's all they do. All they do is they're ready to accuse constantly, right? It's a multitude. Right? It's not just one individual. It's not just a small group. It's going to be a multitude. That's why I said a multitude. Right? Understand? The majority are in the world, right? They're not in the truth. They don't know about the truth. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb,
right,
and by the word of their testimony.
Right, by the word of our testimony. Who are we testifying about? The How Shah, right? We're doing the same thing that the prophets did of old, that the disciples did of old. Right? See, with that same doctrine. Okay? That's why they're not going to receive that doctrine. Okay? What you got? Oh, it's a little bit more. What you got?
And they loved not their lives unto death.
Right. And trust me, death is at the door, man. Because the scripture speaks to them that those that were dead. Trust me, death is at the door. Coming to that point. Coming to that point, man. Get there, man. I need that first. Hold on, brother. I need that first. Okay? Sometimes I meditate on that. I mean, having to walk up to the guillotine or whatever.
All the time, that's the problem.
Revelation 20 and verse 40. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai.
So I show you that's what's going to happen even in this time, man. They got these things prepared, man. Said there's going to be a time as no other. You think it's going to be light? You think it's going to be light? Don't give you a pill to put you to sleep. No, take this pill. Yeah, you're wicked. Take this, drink this. No. What?
And for the witness of Yahushai and for the word of Yahushai, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with a Mashiach.
And that guy's going to take the shit. That guy that was coming up. He's going to take the shit. All right? You see? See, when all, everything hits, you're going to see that these people ain't real. These people are not about it. Because their foundation is not Yahushua. Okay? He might be an Ishmaelite or whatever. He might not be a Jake or whatever. But it really doesn't matter. If you're not in the truth, even if you're a Jake, you're not going to make it to the Jake. If you're not of the elect.
First John 4:3, and every spirit that confesseth not that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of the Most High. And this is the spirit of the anti-Hamashiach, whereof ye have heard that it shall come, and even now already is in the world.
But he's a so-called antichrist. He's an aggressive antichrist. Right? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Ephesians 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That's it. Which is what? Spiritual. You don't fight against the devil carnally. It's spiritual. See, one of them cats that would come down and nuke him, pop, 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 beat him. See if you won. No, you didn't win. You lost. No? They'll do a selfie. You see what they did? See? It's the carnal, and then that's the whole big thing. It's a whole big thing right there. Okay? Keep going, brother. You know? And that'll turn to a whole thing. And that will just be added onto the population. So how did you win?
For we wrestle.
Well, you see this? This is something they might put up and you might get believers out of that. You might get from your own brothers is right. You might have one person that might say, oh, that brother's right. And then he got a gun. So how did they win from that? Right? Them black Hebrews ain't that bad after all.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world.
And what do I keep saying? The guy got a demon on him.
Yeah.
It's like if he got a demon on him. I got a demon, you got a demon on him.
Yeah, legions.
He clearly had a demon. He couldn't even control himself. Well, you get through two scriptures, in the beginning. Relax. Can I get through it? No, you see that seriously. I didn't even get to it. I didn't even finish it. You know? Yo, these guys are bugged out. They're not in the world, man. These guys are complete darkness. When he's like, oh, imagine him and the other guy. I have to go to a brother take on the prayer. You gotta pray for them. Okay?
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Alright? You see what I'm saying? So these people, they're working on the left-hand side. We're on the right-hand side. And guess what? The right-hand side is stronger when you use the spirit. Use carnality, you're trying to fight them on the left-hand side. You fight on the right. We fight on the right. What?
Second Ezra 5, verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which thou seest, or thou hast heard long ago.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Iniquity is being increased. Okay, that's what the spirits are being increased. But don't forget the serpent. I was watching this one video where brothers were showing these people are looking around that serpent. It's the same thing. That's terrifying. You know, what is that? What did they see? What did they see? It had to be something terrifying. When you see that has movements.
This is Isaiah 66, in verse 4. I also will choose their delusions. I will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not
You
hear.
see this guy, this big, tough guy, he gonna allow her to scream like a little 10-year-old girl. Right? And they're gonna know in the spirit they were off. Right? You know? If not in that time, they will know when they
14.
when they see something.
Isaiah 66:4, and I also will choose their delusions. I will bring their
2:14.
fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
Chose that word not delighted not. Right? What do we delight in? What is he delighting? He delights in righteousness. Right? That's the word of the scripture. It isn't delighting in what your own heart thinks. You can bring out one scripture, but hey, bro, you couldn't tell me this. That's okay. That's all right. You know, to me, for any logical person, even if he's a logical, even the one that's not, unless he has a spirit on him, you can see that this guy was actually wise. Even that shit.
First, I never thought that there was a concert.
So I just played it. Go ahead, bro.
Going back to 2 Edify 16 and verse 70.
You're telling me shut up. He had to calm down. Go ahead.
But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like bad men, sparing.
It's like it, brother. That's a bad man. But no, the spirit was, brother. I mean, brother, shut up. That shows that's a spirit out there. Kind of, you know? Go ahead.
Sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Destroy those that fear the Lord, man. All right? So that's what they're coming for, man. Go ahead.
For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
See, when they start really coming, man, people are going to know that they're coming after the men of the Lord, man. Then shall they know prophet have been among them. By that time, the truth is going to be out, man. So it's beautiful Esau's constantly getting exposed. He thinks he's doing something coming through his, yay, and doing the attributes and signs. But guess what? The Lord got a checkmate, man. The Lord already sees steps ahead. He already got his emotion. Yeah, you make that one look and all right, take that look. Okay. Bah! You know? So these Edomites don't know what's going on. Go ahead, bro. You see on that? Go ahead, bro.
2 Ezra 14 and 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more evil shall increase upon them that dwell therein.
So get the last precepts.
Pertaining to how the mystery was revealed unto us.
Hold on, let's hold that. Let's deal with the topic.
Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them.
When they come in like that flood, the Spirit of the Lord. And then it's just a dangerous thing when they start coming up too. Like on a certain level. The Lord might, give brother spiritual power something to happen, bro.
That's right.
The Lord this is not the time. This is the time that the prophets are going to take the W, bro. I don't know, I'm thinking of a scripture in my head, man. It's like, well, one is your teacher should not be removed to a corner anymore. You understand? There's times where the prophets will remove them to a corner, man. See? Brother brought that out. I remember what brother, I don't know if it's Dallas account. The brother brought that out. He said that the prophets, at the time, the prophets will remove them to a corner. Meaning what? They were getting put to death and all these things. Well, we're not in that time. That's why the truth is going to be declared. But an eye shall see thy deeds, right? That's why the truth is going to be declared. And that's going to be at the last resort. Like I said in my head, if you were to come out, imagine if you would have came out and said, by the way, we have preachers on the streets. They're breaking us. You see the small screen stop. Bro, I guarantee the next month, martial law, right? I'm talking on the internet. One thing he can't do is leave them to us. We gotta get out of this. What? Last scripture, what?
1 Peter 4 and 18 to the point.
Yeah.
And if the righteous scarcely be saved,
Yeah.
where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear.
Where shall be right? So the righteous, the ones who are righteous are barely going to make it. Where shall be ungodly, the ones that ain't doing the will of God, where the sinners shall be. See what I'm saying?
This is Isaiah 44 and 25. Right. Now frustrated the focus of the liars, making diviners mad. That turns wise men backwards, making your knowledge foolish.
Well, that's it, because he said he will give us a mouth that we shall not gainsay, that they shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Although they might not like the message, but if the message is the truth, they really can't say nothing against it. So they have to resort to carnality, screaming and acting up. You see what I'm saying? When you have the truth, the doctrine and the truth, you don't gotta act like that. You just say, okay, this is the point, all right? I'm gonna go through it, I'm gonna show you in the scriptures. I'll show you in the Holy Bible.
What? Job 5 and 12 disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Right? That's really going into the elites of the society. They're setting up a NWO. Right? Through everything they got going on, they're setting up an NWO.
What? Taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
But they're not going to be able to accomplish it. The Lord is already, he already has everything set up, but they're not going to win. You understand? It says that the laborer shall overtake the reaper. All right? So they're not going to win. Okay? What, bro?
Psalm 89 and 14, justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thee thy face.
Yeah, mercy and truth. Read that again. Read that again.
Psalm 89 and 14,
Yeah.
justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thee thy face. I mean,
Right, that's like justice. So that's what the Lord is coming. He's coming with justice. You see, we're coming with the truth. That's why I said the truth that has been so long without proof. Matter of fact, let's end it off on that. Right? Because this is why he's mad. He said, I got pride made. I said, wait a minute, there's 2 billion Christians in the earth. What are you talking about? That is the problem. 2 billion of them. That's clearly the problem. But you can't reason with a guy like that. Since he doesn't have the truth, he has to resort to that. And he's going to take it an L. He's going to take an L. You just got to wait. Be patient. Look at how shiny was working.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
that's right.
Declared, man. And it's been so long that the truth has been hidden. Now it's being declared. Right? And even now it's being declared. Now people, they're not telling you, listen, man, did I tell you? Before you come on, I'm telling you, there's about to be more people popping up. So we can't pop. No. Trust me, man, this thing is ramping up in the spirit. And it's not just about, oh, it's fun. It's exciting time. Right? But, hey, bro, you got to be in the spirit too, man. You have to be in the spirit. What, bro?
Ephesians 3 and 1. For this cause, I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahushua HaMashiach, for you Gentiles, if ye have heard of the dispensation of the grace of the Most High, which is given to me, to you, Lord, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, as I wrote afore in few words, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Hamashiach, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of man, as it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and prophets by the Spirit, that the Gentiles should be fellow heirs. That the Gentiles should be fellow heirs and of the same body and partakers of his promise in Hamashiach by the gospel. Wherefore I was made a minister according to the gift of grace of the Most High given unto me by effect and working of his power.
Okay, I want to end off on what we just read. I want to make sure we end off on that. Okay, end off. Read that again there. I wanted to end off on that.
As verse 28, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
So that's what's being declared, man. The truth. All right, they can't stop the truth, man. All right, so with that, we'll give all praise, glory, and honor
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodash.
regards to the apostles and others of great millstone salutations. Much love and respect to you brothers out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. All right? Shemai,
Shemai,
Yasha'Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Yahweh,
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 Shemai,
Shemai,
Yasha'Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Yahweh,
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 Shemai,
Shemai,
Yasha'Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Yahweh,
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 Shalom.
DTN. Wa bad babao.